What is going on, party people? It is your boy Smooth, and welcome to another edition of your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. Happy Wednesday to y'all. It's good to have y'all back again. For those watching for the first time, thank y'all very much. We have an incredible show in store. And before I even go any further, I'm not alone. First, representing from the Boondocks. Everybody, leave in the comments right now. What up, Jobo?
Hello, what's up? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. And guess who came back? We missed her last week.
I
Good
know.
evening, Miss Williams. It felt weird not saying hello, Miss Williams, didn't it?
I know. I was thinking that halfway through the show. I'm like, what is going on right now? Something
Right,
feels different. So, hi,
right.
Miss Williams.
There we go. So shouts out to our faithful follower, Miss Williams. She's back. Good to have you back, Miss Williams. And okay. She said she wasn't feeling well. Much better now. We are glad because you gotta feel right when you're on the platform sports talk show. That's just how we do it. And I have another lady. She's ready to get it in. Everyone, she just made it home, I believe, from work. You know, she's a hard working woman. Two-time mother, y'all. Two-time. And she's ready. Bunny, what's happening?
What up? What up? What up? Happy Hump Day.
Oh,
What
hey.
up, Bunny? I missed you last week.
I know, Jobo. I'm sorry, but I had to go, grace my presence to the NYC, let them see what STL is all about. Yeah,
Hey, so yeah, tell us how your experience was in NYC.
it wasn't enough time. And when I tell you, we had a time last night, that was for all weekend.
Oh, sound like them good old college days of Lincoln.
Look, I got there at midnight, and there was
Oh,
people up, airport popping and everything. I'm like, yeah, this is truly the city that does not sleep. Yeah,
mm,
good time, good time. So I definitely got to go back. Wasn't enough time to do everything, but great times.
yeah. I have not been to New York yet, so I definitely have to go ahead and make that trip very
And that's
soon.
what's funny. I've heard that a lot from people. When I tell people I was going, it's like, yeah, they've never been. I mean, of course, I'm saying that, and look how old I am. So, but a lot of people, I'm surprised in the Midwest, at least, and in the South, say they've never been to New York City.
I've never been, but it's one of those places that I don't think I want to go for a long period of time.
Mm.
Like if I'm gonna go for like a couple days, and that should be enough for me.
That's it. And that's why I said I have to go back. If I was there a week, it it may or may not bother me because it's a lot to do. Lot. It's expensive though, because
Yeah.
then Lyft and Uber on top of the subway. Subway wasn't expensive, but whew, but it's so spread out. You just gotta get around as best as you can, and you gotta suck it up and pay the cost.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I've been around like the surrounding areas of New York. I just have not been to New York yet, so definitely got to make that happen. Maybe next year. With the wifey. Shouts out to you, Jamie. Love you, and I know she's probably tuned in as well, along with everybody else. Excuse me, everybody else right now. Let me go and get this out because T-Bone is probably in the air flying those frequent flyer miles right now. So let me go ahead and let everybody know what's happening because this once again is your Wednesday night sports. Like, give us a follow right now on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Bunny, they subscribe and click on that what? Uh-oh. She ain't ready.
We
That
lose her.
bell. Yeah, we lost her just for a second
Oh,
on that bell because Joe, anytime we go live,
you will go. Oh, we'll get notified.
there we go. And once the show is over, it'll be uploaded right away on Roku. So just put in the platform sports talk show, follow our channel. It'll be up there after the show ends. You can also listen to us on Hot 365 Radio, where it is always hot. You can listen on the app where you have Apple device or iOS, or if you have Android, you can just go to the Play Store, put in Hot 365 Radio, and boom, you can download it, or just go online, hot365radio.com. The wifey already says NYC next year. Let's go.
Better start saving
Man, that's all right.
just
That's
for
what
the
we do.
Ubers.
That's what we do. We gonna save and make it happen. Bunny lost her connection, so she's probably gonna get situated, and then she'll be right back. But yeah, so we definitely got to make that happen. Going to NYC. Could you imagine broadcasting a live show from NYC, Joe?
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Man, that would be dope. That would be dope.
Yeah.
So thanks for once again for tuning in, y'all. Get them shares going, get them likes. We want to get as many people tuned in because our special guest will be on at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. So take this time right now to enjoy what we have in store for you now with our upcoming topics. But also get them shares, get them likes, let everyone know, hey, we want to shower our special guest with all the love that he deserves. I know that he has a story to tell, and this is the perfect platform to do so. So, with that being said, Joe, you already know. You now have my attention. What sports story or stories has your attention?
Yeah, I feel like I have a couple of them, but I'll say two of them. One is Major League managers in baseball. The fourth one was fired the other day. I don't know what the heck's going on. In season, Major League managers being fired, that is different. And I'm surprised that one of them still has a job. We'll get to that later on with our one of our segments. But that's just odd to me, is it not? After the Rangers go out there and spend all this money on Seager and on Semyon, and they do that. And another one is, I'm sure we'll have another topic about it later, but Tatis Jr. When my husband, Brendan, told me about this last week, it was the last thing that popped in my mind when he was like, no way. And he said that, I about pooped my pants. Like, what? Tatis, oh my gosh, it's, and you know what really upsets me about it? All of it upsets me, but you got Poppy and Pedro Martinez trying to defend him. Like, no, you can't. If this was just a regular guy, or let's even say it was an Astros player, you telling me you guys would say that? No, you guys are saying it because it's Fernando Tatis Jr., MLB's face of the game. They're one of their brightest, most flashy products they've had in I don't know how long, and now you guys are going to sit there and try to defend him. He's not a kid anymore.
Exactly.
He's 23 years old, who signed a $300 million contract, and he's constantly on all these ads, Dairy Queen ads and everything else. And, you made a stupid mistake over the offseason riding a dirt bike, and then you don't just break one bone. You joke around and say, which bone, which accident? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to go through and do this. And I don't buy the ringworm excuse. You were doing it to try to get healthy earlier, to try to be back. That's exactly what it was.
Because of a prior mistake that he made on his own.
Exactly. And another thing that just kind of, it's like your dad got popped for this stuff when he was playing. Maybe not the
family.
Yeah, maybe not the same exact one, but this happened to your dad. And there's people saying you just wish you had the supervision around him to, teach him otherwise. But I mean, when your dad's doing it, why would he not do it? And then, and even Alex Rodriguez was saying on Sunday night, he just wishes people would learn from his mistakes. Oh my gosh, that'd be horrible. Alex Rodriguez got popped, in like 08, 09. And he's never going to be in the Hall of Fame because of it. Like, I'm sorry. Tatis Jr.'s, even if he goes on, he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. His baseball card stock's going extremely low. You can go buy PSA graded 10 cards for very reasonable prices. And whenever he does come back, he's going to have to work really hard to make his name right again in baseball.
And that's the whole thing, is that he literally was about to be the face of baseball with how he came out a couple years ago, just jumping out, cranking home runs, playing superb defense, playing defense, and just being that face that the league needed, being the face of a baseball game. I mean, you had everything right there. Then the Padres signed you to like a 20,000-year contract because they have faith in you, and it looks like this may be the perfect reason now for future teams to not want to sign a long-term contract with someone so young because of stuff like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just really depends though, because Tatis should have had his shoulder surgery 2 years ago, but he kept denying it. He doesn't want to do it. And then, the off-season thing, but obviously he already signed his contract. But I mean, the Braves, they just locked up Michael Harris Jr. for 8 years. They're doing it right. If you look at the Braves roster, the nucleus of that team is there until 2030. Every single one of them. There's certain ways to do it, and it's crazy because the Padres literally got rid of their entire farm system on the idea of having Machado, Tatis, and Soto for 3 postseasons, and now it's only going to be 2, and who knows what kind of accident he gets in the off season, or they're not going to have him for 80 games next year. Or 44. I don't know how that's going to work since he was still on the IL whenever he got popped. So I think he still just misses 80 games next year.
And say you need people around the bucket. People can't give you common sense. You just gotta have that for yourself, especially when you sign a major league contract. You're a grown man. You ain't a kid no more. Bottom line, it doesn't matter if you're 18, 17. When you sign a major league professional contract, you have to already know. You got to have some common sense. And obviously, this young guy, this talented young guy, just does not have it, and it is definitely hurting his stock. And like you said before, the chances of going to the Hall of Fame and the whole nine. It kind of reminds me of Robinson Cano. Like, he had an incredible career until you found out that he 2 or 3 time offender of PED.
Yeah, he was twice, and then we were talking about it here. There was, I think his first name was Francisco, but I know his last name was Mejia. He was a reliever for the Mets. The guy got popped 3 times in a row, and they banned him. He can't play baseball anymore, which good. It's depressing. I wasn't a huge Tatis fan, but I knew he was good for the game. I got a nice little collection of Tatis cards going because I know he's good and people want that, but and then you have last year down the stretch, him and Manny Machado arguing at each other. You know what I'm saying? He just, since he's been up here, besides the little hair flips and bat flips, he's honestly kind of been a stain for the game. And it's weird that with how much MLB has been trying to promote him and make him the face, and he just keeps ruining it, honestly.
Right. And as you see on your screen, and for those listening on Hot 365 Radio, Bunny is back and she has a little one in her hand. What's going on, y'all?
I'm not sure what happened. My connection dropped, so excuse me for the delay. Glad I'm back. And I have a little one who wants to join the show. But in the meantime, regarding the Tatis thing, I'm so sad, and I know we're going to talk about that later, but I know people always get the excuse of I was doing something. I had to take medicine. I didn't know. Man, what? You said Tatis is not gonna be playing for 80 games? I know, baby. I know. Well, they still have Juan Soto. Yeah, and they have Manny Machado. Yeah. So they still got some good bats. Don't worry. The Padres gonna be okay. We'll see them in the playoffs. Oh, you only want to see the Cardinals take it off. I get it. Yeah. Okay. Well,
she ain't got time today.
I'm just saying. But did y'all hit on we're talking about Tatis in baseball and a new playoff format? Have you touched on that yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, continue. But yeah, I'm sad about Tatis, but he should get it together this offseason. Come back stronger, bigger than ever. Don't be like Ryan Braun, because Braun got caught.
Literally stronger and bigger because of the
and Bunny, you mentioned something about why am I blanking today? It's been such a weird day. You mentioned something, I was going to bring it up, but I don't even know now. So
the players on the Padres that hold it down while he's gone.
I mean, yeah, I think they're going to be fine. I do think they'll probably make the playoffs.
I don't know.
I mean, they still got a good team. You still got. I mean, they've made it this far without him.
I know, but
that is facts, though. But the postseason hits differently. That's the issue. It's going to be the postseason.
So here's something that I heard sources is that the team really hasn't been the same since they let go of Eric Hosmer. He was kind of like that one glue guy.
He was a
on
leader.
The squad. Yeah, and now they don't have that person who can step up and take his spot. And as you've been seeing, the team is very talented, but they're lacking cohesion. And
But
yes, they're
that's to be
very
expected when
talented,
you got so many fresh new faces. We go through this in basketball.
but
Because you
still,
got talent on
but
paper
still.
don't mean it's going to transfer right away. It takes
And
time.
that's where a guy like Eric Hosmer would have came in and would have helped to get things molded faster. It may take until the last week of the season, and it may be too late.
This brings up good. How I said they got rid of their entire farm system. They
Right.
also got rid of 2 Major League Baseball players. Eric Hosmer, which I've seen something about that too on the Chris Rose Baseball Today show. He said that he talked to an executive that said the Padres are. He doesn't think they're going to make the playoffs, and he thinks it's because they don't have a voice in that locker room. And I'm sorry, Manny Machado's not that voice because he wouldn't run out into the outfield to go get a ball that he missed while Dodgers players were just running around the bases, scoring runs. And he doesn't care because he's Manny effing Machado. That's his answer to that. So Manny Machado is still a child as well, apparently, because he hasn't grown one bit since he left Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small stuff like that that's actually very big for a clubhouse. No matter if it's baseball, basketball, football, you want to have those glue guys that can make
bring it together.
You know what I'm saying? So, we'll see. Bunny, why don't you go ahead and tell us what has your attention? I have a feeling someone that you may know very well has some good news to share too.
Yes. So we can touch on that real quickly. Sorry about the background noise. Doing 2 things at one time, including changing a pamper. So, shout out to Suzanne Goodwin, who happens to be very closely related to me, just 3 years apart. My sister is the new athletic and activities director at Hazelwood Central High School. Big up to her. Proud of her and her accomplishment to get that far. And what's even crazier, because one of the football coaches, Coach Carey, was one of the guests on our show. And
right.
She works closely with him since we're in football season right now.
Carey Davis. That's what's up. Yeah, so definitely congrats to Suzanne Goodwin. She used to be one of the coaches for the football team and one of the, what was it, like the trainer or something as well?
She's assistant athletic director of Ashawn. She was assistant football coach. She was the assistant women's basketball coach. She was the head track and field coach for the boys. She was a tennis coach. And then at Sumner, she was a track coach and a tennis. Yeah. Every coach at the school's office, for the most part, she was one of them.
And now she's an AD at Hazelwood Central High School, the alma mater for my wife's school as well. So
that's graduated from. Okay, shout out to the Hawks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, but no. So
and then the background, she trying to make the noise.
Right. And then also last week, our special guest, which was an incredible interview, Sam Pearson, he went to Hazelwood Central as well. So a lot of Hazelwood Central going on around these parts, but it's all good. Anything else sports wise outside of your sister that has your attention?
Did y'all hit on the Brinks truck backing up in the driveway of LeBron? Man, can I
go ahead.
LeBron James? Brinks truck backing up in his driveway with 97 million. There you go. How much? 97 million. How much was it? 90 something. That's so many millions I lose count.
All I know is that all you hear is this.
Exactly. I mean, I said the Brinks truck was backing up in his driveway, but they might be parked out there for a while, actually. I'm just saying. Yeah. Hey, racks on racks on racks on racks. I mean, he earned it though. Shout out to him and his agent for pulling that off. Now, hopefully that equates to 2 things. Number 2, the Lakers at least get the playoffs this season. Number 1, that he's going to wait around like he keeps saying to play with Bronny. So that means you don't agree with me? You don't think he's going to stay around with Bronny? Oh, okay. My butterball doesn't think he's going to stay around for Bronny, but we'll see. I'm saying yes, you're saying nay.
So how realistic is that actually happening? Because obviously I don't, really pay that much attention to the young
It's
guys.
very realistic. Things definitely have to go right in regards to health with LeBron, and then with Bronny, he has to have a great upcoming season for his senior year, and then show out in college next year. When he does, then he has a good chance of getting drafted.
A second question in that is, obviously we've seen it quite a bit in baseball, but has there ever been a father-son duo in the NBA on the same team or no?
No. And something I do want to bring up with LeBron, of course, he deserves all the money in the world. But do you feel like with someone who's already, and now it has been proclaimed that he's like the first active billionaire ever in sports, but with him already being a billionaire, do you feel that he should have maybe taken a lot less so it can help the team acquire more people, with money?
No. Look out for self first before organization ownership. I don't care how great and loyal the organization is. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care how great and loyal the organization is. Look out for self first. Because when you go down, you are replaced.
I guess
billionaire status tonight. I mean, because we don't know what he plans on doing with that money. We're looking at now. It's like, oh yeah, they can build up the organization, get more key players. They had time to do that prior to him being there. They had time to do that in his first. I mean, come on now.
I guess my question to that though is, I mean, they won in the pandemic year, but I don't know. Again, I don't know much about basketball. I don't keep up with it, but I see people on Twitter talking about it, and it hasn't really looked that great for the Lakers the last couple of years. So don't you think they need other pieces to go on, to go with LeBron?
But they had a key piece. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say their biggest issue last year was that they tried to go through the whole AARP look, and they had a lot of guys who like 30.
That's what I'm saying. They brought in all these guys that coming in walkers, but they're not coming. They're not those guys anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, why aren't they dropping money?
But that wasn't their overall demise, though. Even though they had AARP club memberships for all their players except AD, their number 2 point scorer was absent most of the season, as your boy Charles Barkley called him street clothes. He lives up to that name lately. I'm sorry he's getting injured. When he's healthy, that is your guy. That was one of the reasons that he got baited to come out to LA, that he was going to be the main piece once LeBron is gone. And yet, if you're not there to show up to score, yes, your team's affected by it. It's the game of analytics now. Every major sport, everybody uses the data and analytics, and it's been proven in basketball. When you don't have your number 2 scorer, you can't make. I'm sorry, the Lakers didn't have a piece to make up for their number 2 scorer. And on top of that, when you don't have a team that plays defense, which is, again, in all sports, you need defense. No matter what kind of sport it is, you need defense to win. Hello, you don't have it, you suck. Now we got a new coach. I'm sorry, the Lakers have a new coach because I'm supposed to be a Lakers fan, so I was saying we. But the Lakers have a new coach. They're supposed to be the coaching staff supposed to be working with Westbrook. That's another piece.
Right.
His age wasn't that issue. His game. And that's a whole nother topic we can talk about. But anyway, so it's not AARP that's going to hold them back, though. It's just
right now. Right now, as they are they a threat? To take down the Warriors or the Bucks or anyone like that?
They will always be a threat because they have LeBron and AD. But the issue is that, they did acquire a lot of young talent this offseason, a lot of young talent. So I look forward to seeing what's going to happen there. But it all really goes down to the health of AD. If he's not healthy, they have no chance of being a contender. Bottom line, the pressure's on him. They just said that Darvin Ham, who is a new head coach, the offense will be centered around him this season. And LeBron, perfect. And that's how it should be because LeBron is almost hitting 40. AD still about to be 30-some years old or whatever it is. He needs to be healthy. He needs to do what he needs to do to stay active and be on the court. Because what they say, Joe, the best ability is what?
I don't know what you're trying to tell me right now.
Lord.
I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Honey, do you know the best ability is what?
Fill in the blank. It ain't like progress. It ain't sexy. So, I mean, you're lying.
It is availability.
Okay. There you go. Got it. Read Ms. Williams' comments because I actually don't agree with that, Ms. Williams.
What?
Oh, yeah. So Ms. Williams says, on the other hand, having LeBron may help recruit young talent that want to play with him.
I think the generation that we have now, don't appreciate or look at, oh, I get to play with a GOAT player or get to play with, all-star caliber MVP. For all of LeBron's accolades, it don't seem like the young generations will appreciate to play next to them. Like if Michael Jordan was still playing, would you have people like, oh, he's a GOAT, I need to play with him, or Kobe was still out playing? I don't get that sense from these younger players. They don't mind competing against them, but to say, I want to go to that team because he's on there, no. I don't see them using LeBron as a reason to go to the Lakers. Now, that helped the AD, but AD wasn't as young either. He wasn't, he's already had his time in the league. Everybody knew about him, but up and coming or even established young players, let's say Trae Young. You think Trae Young's like, LeBron out there? Man, I want to go do my thing out there with him. I don't get that from the rookies and the sophomore and third year. Basically, anybody under a rookie contract over 4 years, I don't get that from them. But we shall.
Somebody hungry back there.
Just going to town on those wipes.
He ain't playing. I love it. All right, so what is on my mind, and I want to bring it up last week, but we had no time, and that's this man right here, Jason Hayward. So it's just amazing how things turn around at the end of the day. So if you recall, he has won a championship with the Chicago Cubs. He was one of the elite right fielders in the game. Always getting gold gloves the whole nine. But it was announced last week that the Cubs are pretty much going to cut him after the season, and he'll have 1 year left remaining from his contract. But what's so crazy is that over the last, I'll probably say 10 seasons now, he probably had his best overall season when he was a member of this team right here. He had his best overall season offensively and everything. He been like 300, over 10 plus home runs. He was actually producing. But then he went to the Cubs. Yes, he did win a championship, but it's like ever since then, he has been clowned for the contract that the Cubs has signed. And then one of his main reasons that he left the Cardinals was because he felt like the core for the Cubs will last longer than the core of the Cardinals. Now, the core he was referring to are guys like Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, maybe Jake Arrieta, guys like that was on that Cubs team, Kyle Schwarber, guys like that. But Joe, can you tell us what team is Kyle Schwarber on now?
The Phillies.
What team is Anthony Rizzo on?
The New York Bombers.
Let's see, Chris Bryant.
He's on the IL with the Rockies.
Javier Baez.
Having one of the worst career WAR stats of all time with the Tigers.
Adam Wainwright.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Yadier Molina.
St. Louis Cardinals.
And now, what team is Hayward on right now?
Well, he's just kind of floating right now in Chicago.
So, and what's crazy is that this was my dude, and apparently my wife was crazy about him too. But yeah, this was my dude in St. Louis, and I feel like if he would have stayed, maybe not have had that big contract, but if he would just stay in that culture, it's possible he may have won more than just one ring that he did with the Cubs. Yeah, of course you want to have that ring, that experience, a whole nine. I see you, Sanaa. But at the end of the day, he's been like a laughingstock since he signed that huge contract, and people are saying he hasn't really lived up to it. But what are your thoughts in regards to Jason Hayward?
I think it's.
I'm sorry, Joe.
I was just gonna say, I think it's funny because even his ring, not no one else from the 2016, but his ring is kind of even a laughingstock, with the Cubs, because he's only known for making a speech during a rain delay. Like if you talk about Jason Hayward, that's what you think about. And I love how Danny Mac literally made fun of him on a national broadcast last week, saying that, how he's being released and, because of the whole young core with Chicago. And he goes, and, well, everyone's still here with the Cardinals playing good baseball in first place. Like, I don't know. Like, I love Danny Mac. But,
I mean, tell them facts again.
Right.
Yeah, and and all of Chicago thought they're gonna have a dynasty over there, and
They should have, though. Honestly, I thought they would have pulled it off. But go back to what you said. With all those players are gone, and when you first started talking about this, Fred, I was like, so Hayward didn't know this is still business, nothing personal. This is all business. So you think this core gonna stay together? Why? When the last time you had a core stay together, they had a lot of young players. I mean, in this day and age, people don't stay like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you just mentioned the Cardinals core, but they're not young players. They've been together since 01, 02. So that's the difference. He was telling this in 2015. So, bruh, it's a different game, different ownership, different GM mindset. But maybe somebody paid him or his agent told him to say that just to give a reason as a scapegoat to get out of St. Louis, just to get more money. So while y'all talking about his contract was the laughing stock, the Cubs are the ones should be the one getting laughed at, not just Hayward, because they don't want to get to him.
They're getting laughed at too.
Right.
They were shout out to his agent for being able to I don't want to say pimp, but to be able to get the Cubs to agree to that.
Yeah, and the whole thing is that because of the huge contract, that handcuffed them from probably trying to resign a Rizzo or a Bryant or a Baez because of the huge contract, because they thought he would be, they pay him like he's going to be that guy, and he wasn't. Like I say, yes, they won a ring. Yes, he won Gold Gloves. But still, like you said, it's a business, and it looks like at the end of the day, you lost people who they loved and appreciated more to accommodate Jason Hayward. And now they're looking stupid because he's about to get cut.
Yeah, I remember last off season, there's rumors of what an Anthony Rizzo contract extension would have looked like if he was just mind blown by it, because everyone knows Anthony Rizzo, whether you like playing against him or not. He's a good dude. He was the heart and soul of that team, and you disrespect him and trying to give him a small contract when you're giving Jason Hayward what he was getting. So it's crazy. It sucks, as the human element of it sucks for him. But me liking baseball and hating the Cardinals, not hating the Cardinals, hating the Cubs, it's hilarious to me, honestly. And I love Danny Mac making fun of him on the national broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Bryant made fun of us, calling St. Louis boring and whatever else. So Ryan Dempster and all them. So, hey, karma is something else.
Yeah, but I think Ryan Dempster, was he the one that Freeze hit that homer off? I can't remember. But either way, it's just funny and not karma, but kind of seems like karma sometimes, because Albert, that guy behind you, is dropping bombs, and Yachty is, breaking records or tying people like Yogi Berra and Johnny Bench, and Adam Wainwright's probably going to play again next year.
And speaking of that, can Pujols reach 700? He has been doing his thing since the All-Star break, being very productive. If you have a left-handed pitcher, I fear for your life, because this man here has been doing the damn thing. And this picture here says it all. After the home run this past Sunday, when he had his second home run against the Brewers, he just flexed on them like I've never seen him flex like that in years. It feels good to see him in that mode. But it's like, man, this is our team, our town, our stadium. They ain't gonna beat us. We the best. But just seeing this and seeing how he's been doing over the last month or so now, I think I heard he's like leading OPS over the last few weeks now. But just seeing what this man has been doing at the stage of his career, what are your thoughts, Joe?
It's crazy. You mentioned the OPS. He's up there with people like Juan Soto and Aaron Judge for OPS since the All-Star break, I think. I can't even remember what it was, but yeah, he's kind of playing like he did back in the day right now. And even last night, whenever they took him out for a pinch runner, he was pissed. So, he's like, what if he knew he was probably going to get another bat later on, but that's being a manager. You got to make the tough calls.
And I love it.
Yeah, and he's been fun to watch. Even whenever he misses one, he's barely missing it. And that second homer on Sunday, man, if Mia wasn't sleeping at that time, taking a nap, I've been screaming. Me and Brennan were jumping around, trying not to make as much noise as possible, because that was awesome. You show that picture, I got chills all over again. It was just a really, really cool moment, and it's just crazy that, Danny Mac got to call his first homer, and he's just still doing it.
Yeah, and Danny Mac, he's been just on the money with these calls, man. I mean,
Hmm.
it's no surprise, but he just really been on the money with these great calls. So, but going back, do you see Pujols reaching 700?
As much good as I talked just now, I do not think he's going to reach it.
No,
I think he's what, like 9 away from A Rod. I'm not
no,
even sure
no.
I'm not even sure he will reach A Rod.
Mm,
He had to go on a really, really, really good tear in order for that to happen. And a lot of people around baseball, like MLB Network and everything, just saying like he needs to sign a contract through May next year. He's done. Like, he's done after this. It's right now. He's really having fun. He's really having fun. Teaching the kids that are coming up through the system and being back with Yachty and Wayno, and he just wants to win.
yeah. I'm not going to put it past him. And I know maybe last month or so, Joe, I had my thoughts about Pujols. Like, man, this dude here, he looking kind of washed, but then he just had a rejuvenation over the last 2 months. But it just seems like with everything going on with him being back at St. Louis, I mean, you haven't heard no injury issues all season for the first time in like what 10 years,
Yeah.
and how he plays in at Busch Stadium. It's just something different about it, and he just brings that nostalgia in regards to believing that he can make it happen. So I'm not going to give up on him. I'm gonna go ahead and say that maybe he might reach 700 and boom, that'll be it. Do you feel now? He said earlier that because of the mental grind that he probably wouldn't want to do another season. But if he has like 698, do you see him coming back for next year?
I don't. I really don't. I just don't think he wants to do it anymore. I mean, even there's been no injuries, but the Albert swing, even though that one on Sunday looked like perfect, classic Albert, you can still see his feet are hurting him every time he swings. His finish just does not look the same as it used to. But no, I think if he's even at 699, he's not gonna.
Mm,
And it sucks so bad because if it wasn't for the pandemic season, he'd be past that. He'd be
right.
the only player in Major League history with 700 doubles and 700 homers.
Yep.
That's mind blowing to think.
All right. So Bunny had to step away just for a second. I'm waiting until she tells me that she's ready to go, and then we'll bring her back in, get her thoughts on if Pujols can reach 700. I believe she is ready. Give me a thumbs up, Bunny. Let me know. Okay, here we go. All right, your thoughts on Pujols? Can he reach 700?
All them faces. Yeah, I don't think so. Unless if he goes on a tear against some very, very bad pitching. That face though, Pujols. I mean, I get what you're saying. You don't agree with me, but just based off of how many games we have left,
Around 40
30
something.
games, 40 some games. Yeah, I mean, if they play them every day, I don't see it, but you never know. But nah, I don't think so.
Mm. And for those, I'm sorry, for those
with that
watching,
face, you don't agree with me.
right? You like Bunny, you tripping. But for those watching right
I'm
now,
for you. I really do want you to get it, bro. Trust me, I'm all for you, Pujols. But just looking at the track record and the pitch in your face, what you did the other day with 2 home runs in a game, great, excellent. Just even get 1 home run, it's still far and few between the at bats though. That's what I said. If he played every game for the rest of the season, I still don't see him getting it.
mm. And for those watching right now, please feel free to go ahead and leave comments. Interact with us. Let us know your thoughts. Maybe a team that's outside St. Louis you want to discuss and have a little comment about. It's all good. That's what we're here for. We are based in St. Louis. This is the STL thing, but we love all the sports. We love all the different cities surrounding the Lou, the whole nation, the whole country. We got you. So let us know who your favorite team
The
is.
whole world, even. We got the whole world, right?
Yeah, we got the whole world in our hand. No, I'm just playing.
No, because think about it. The Cardinals are going to be playing next year in the United Kingdom, London. So, just saying.
Let's go.
Going, Jumbo, Fred, y'all got y'all tickets going to London? Seeing the red light.
I booked mine already. When the announcement was made, I made sure I got first class. So be there.
Driving first class.
Right. There you go. Sing that song. So let's talk about, because Bunny, I believe you about to talk about the MLB postseason. Is that correct?
You're correct. I said, get my postseason
So
knowledge up because they're changing.
on your screen, if the playoffs started today, this is how it looks. I'll start off with the American League. You have now this year is different. You're going to have so start off with 6 teams. Oh, excuse me, yeah, it'll be 6 teams on each in each league. So the 6 seed right now is the Blue Jays. They'll face off against the 3 seed, the Cleveland Guardians. Then you have the 4 and 5 seed. The 4 seed would be Seattle. 5th seed would be the Rays. And then waiting at the 1 spot, it's the Astros. Number 2 spot, the Yankees. In the NL, the 3 seed would be, well, let's start off at the bottom. The 6 seed would be the Padres. 3 seed would be the Cardinals. That'd be an interesting matchup if that was to happen. 4 seed would be the Braves, and the 5 seed would be the Phillies. Number 2 seed would be the Mets, and number 1 would be the Dodgers. And what's significant about this postseason is that the wild card round, which is the first round, all 3 games we play at the top seed home ballpark. So it won't be going, switching cities. No, it'll be a 3-game series like it will be in a regular season. You'll stay at your own home ballpark for the first round. And then, of course, you get to the division series and then the World Series. And something big that they announced maybe yesterday was the actual times and schedule and everything. And it looks like the World Series, they're only going to have maybe 1 or 2 days off throughout that whole series. And that's going to be huge for teams who are trying to rely maybe on just 3 starting pitchers throughout the whole series. You're going to have to go deep and use maybe 4 or 5 pitchers in a series. Joe, what's your thoughts in regards to this change?
Well, so I think what you're saying is the case for every series. Like I saw, for an example, say the Mariners and the Yankees play in the division series, they have game 3. So game 3 and game 4 would be in Seattle if it got that far. And then say Seattle wins to force a game 5, they would have to fly across country that night and play the very next day. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, and their whole thing is to try to get this done by Thanksgiving, which I also think is stupid considering it's never even gotten close to Thanksgiving. So I don't know why that's their big thing.
But my thing is because it's still, they said if you do a game World Series, it's still going to November 7th, which is still less to me. Like baseball is a sport. Granted, you do play off fall, but this is part of the reason why even Bob Costa spoke about this. They could revamp not just the playoff setup, but just the games. Like either double up more games, but we should talk about baseball. And on top of that, you got the diehard fans in certain cities, but you're going against football and stuff. You got to raise what you want.
And for those listening right now on Hot 365 Radio or watching, we do apologize. LaBunny has a little bit of connection issues, so she's kind of going in and out. But hope that y'all got what she was saying in regards to the series and everything, and why they had to because of the truncated season, thanks to the labor disagreements. That's why it may end late in November, and that's why they're having less off days, because they're trying to get everything in to a certain time frame.
And I honestly don't think any actual baseball fan would have a problem with it going into late November. I really don't.
Right, the fan had to liquor up if you out in them cities like New York, or if you're in St. Louis, or
right,
in Seattle, if you're in Toronto, yeah. Fans gonna be like that, because the diehard baseball fans up and pay in person, great, but those are thousands of stadium seats, so you're gonna have people that will go, but you're looking more to people who are on TV. That's where your media viewership and the dollars are. It's TV. If you're going against football, ma'am, you probably why I got the connection issues. Sorry, guys.
And basketball.
Minimize my screen. I'm like, what is going on here? But yeah,
And
so diehard baseball
well.
fans are not the ones that's gonna help them with them dollars, though. It's gonna be the casual fan that's like laying cash is like, oh wait, we got a good college football game going on Saturday or Friday. Oh wait, we got NFL Thursday night. Even though you got all season for football, still they have less games that makes it more exciting. Hint, hint, baseball.
Right. So speaking of football, let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's time for those NFL predictions. We're going to go ahead and predict the division winners, the conference champions, and who will go to the Super Bowl. So, Joe, I know you're not the football guru, but you know, we all are going to say we don't know everything about football. We have a little bit of knowledge, so we're going to still have some fun with it. So, Joe, let's start with the AFC North. Who do you have winning that division?
I'm going with Bengals, Joe Burrow.
Okay. And Bunny.
Which division?
AFC North.
AFC North. Yeah. Oh, you don't like? I was thinking of what do you call those people? Right? It's gonna be Lamar Jackson's year to finally put it. You know, you think the Steelers are gonna pull off? Especially big somebody? No. Come on. Wait for me, y'all. She thinking that first.
Let me see. Hold on, y'all. So yeah, we have T-Pain in the house, y'all. Bunny, aka T-Pain. Yeah, we're gonna see if she can work on her connection so y'all can get her y'all can hear her clearer. So hopefully we'll get her back before the next 13 minutes or so you can get her connection back up. She got to pay them bills. She got to pay pay the charter or whatever it is, Spectrum. But so Joe, you had the Bengals. I'm actually going the same. I have the Bengals as well. Winning the AFC North. What about the AFC East?
AFC East, I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Okay.
What about you?
I am doing the same thing. We must have the same notes because I'm definitely going with the Bills, especially after a great postseason run by the Bills last season. Got short, thanks to that call that a lot of people didn't like. Well, should I say the coin toss and the overtime rules that people didn't like, but I really like the Bills doing their thing and holding things down. Josh Allen should have an incredible season and let everybody know just who the freak he is. What about the AFC South?
I'm gonna go with the Colts here. Now that they got Ryan as their QB,
Nice.
Yeah, that's who I'm gonna go with. They finally have a decent QB there now, so let's see what happens with them.
I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry being healthy, I'm going to base that on their outcome on him being fully healthy for the whole season. So I'm going with Tennessee Titans. The AFC West.
We just got to stay with the Chiefs, obviously, but we'll see what the Broncos are like this year with Wilson.
Oh man, we have the same notes, Joe. Until I see a team dethrone the Chiefs, all hail to the Chiefs. NFC North.
Shoot. Let's just go Rodgers and the Packers. I should have been throw a wrench in there and be like, the Lions. The Lions are gonna win it all. But no, I'm gonna go the Packers.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I'm going to go with the Lions.
Get out of here.
Yes, I'm going to take that chance and say the Lions are going to shock some people. So I got to make sure that, if this happened or if they 0-16, I'll 17, I'll play this clip again when it's time.
We'll make sure this is in our little recap video for next week.
Yes. So you already know, say that part. I'm choosing the Lions. NFC East.
Shoot. Let's go with the Cowboys.
I am going with the Philadelphia Eagles. I have Jalen Hurts. I like that squad. I think they're on the rise. I have them. I just can't trust the Cowboys. I'm sorry. I know there's probably some Cowboy fans listening, tuned in and everything, but I just cannot trust the Cowboys. They had a great season, start a regular season, and the playoffs they were a dud. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. What about the NFC South?
TB12, gotta go with TB12 and the Bucks, and shoot, their offense got even better like last week, so you gotta go with Brady.
I have to go with Brady also, so I have the Buccaneers. NFC West.
So before I answer this one, is Stafford gonna have to have surgery, or what's going on with that situation?
Nah, he said he's fine.
All right, I'll just say the Rams. Last year I said the Cardinals. That was a nightmare, and so let's just go with the Rams.
Perfect. And I have the Rams as well. So, who do you have going to the Super Bowl representing the AFC?
I'm going with the Bengals again. That was, I don't know, that team was a lot of fun to watch in the playoffs last year. But shoot, so was Allen and the Bills. But I'm gonna go with the Bengals, and I'll have them playing the Bucks.
All right, so you have the Bengals and the Bucks. I am going to go with the Buffalo Bills from the AFC, and I see this team still on top. They added more pieces. Aaron Donald is still on that team, so I'm definitely going with the Rams to come out from the NFC West. So now you have the Bengals versus the Bucks. Who will win the Super Bowl?
As much as I love Joe Burrow, I gotta go TB12.
Tom Brady does it again.
Yep.
And for me, oh man, woo, this is tough. I'm going to give the edge to the Rams still.
Back to back.
Back to back. And I can't. And for those watching, let me know in the comments where the Super Bowl is going to be at this year. I can't recall where it's going to be at, but not saying that it should matter because it's probably going to be in a nice warm climate and the whole nine. But let me know in the comments, or I can find out real quick where it's going to be via Google. Let's see.
Is it in Miami? For some reason, I feel like it was in Miami, or was that? No, it was in Tampa the year before.
Let me see here. The Super Bowl will be in Arizona, State Farm Stadium. So that's in the NFC West. Rams are very familiar with that facility because they play there at least once a year. So not saying that it should change anything in regards to the any kind of home field advantage, but yes, I have the Rams going all the way. Bunny, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you're in that is acting right. We can get you back on real quick before we bring in our special guests. Once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. We are your Wednesday night sports delight. Hope you all are enjoying our first hour of the show. I am Smooth, and right over here we have
Jobo.
Jobo representing from the Boondocks. I gotta get that shirt made. I got you, Joe.
Okay.
I got you. Gotta get that shirt made. So what we're gonna do next? We're gonna go ahead and do some role play. Y'all already know what it is. One person will be the interviewee, like you're in a press conference. Other person will be that athlete, coach, whatever it is. So, Joe, you are Milwaukee Brewers president of baseball operations, David Stearns, and a lot of fans and even players over the last 2 weeks haven't been as happy with you because of the moves that you made, especially trading away your best pitcher, your closer, or maybe your best pitcher, maybe it's now Corbin Burns, but one of the best closers in the game, and Josh Hader. What the hell were you thinking?
Well, Smooth, we're a small market team in the Midwest, and we don't have a lot of money to work with. And so we knew that Josh Hader was going to be a lot of money in the offseason. Even though we make $1 billion and we've been in the playoffs the last 5 straight years, we just felt like we couldn't afford him. So we're going to take the risk of not making the playoffs and trade one of the heart and soul members of our team and get absolutely nothing for him one of the guys that we did got back. We already just released him just for shits and giggles. And
Right.
I'm trying to be serious. Oh my goodness. As for our clubhouse, they're just gonna have to get over it. Devin Williams is gonna have to step up and be our closer now. I didn't get the bats that we needed because I trust our guys to do that job for us. So we'll just see what happens, and then we'll tackle it head on in the off season.
All right. And then lastly, another part that I left out in the question, because Josh Hader was the Cardinals' nemesis. Like, they just could not figure that guy out, and you let the Cardinals' kryptonite go away. Do you feel, even with your answer, do you feel that you still should have made that move?
What, to trade Josh Hader?
Yeah.
Well, now after seeing what happened on Sunday with our new left-handed closer, Rodgers, it came back to bite us in the butt a little bit there, and now the Cardinals are leading the division by 2 games. So thinking back to it, probably shouldn't have traded him, but we're going to save a couple dollars this offseason.
Okay. Good job. All right. And Joe, you up? Oh, Lord.
All right. Well, I had to switch mine up last minute since T-Bone's not here, so I had to write down. These are good. Okay. All right. Fred, you were going to be Tony La Russa. I wish you would have used like the other pictures of him. It's freaking hilarious. Okay.
You know, right. I thought about it, but I'm like, no, I ain't gonna do that man like that on national TV.
Okay. All right, here we go. Tony, last year was a good year for you and your White Sox. This year, with an exception of lately, has been a circus. Players getting hurt, players getting fined, players underperforming, you taking in-game advice from fans, and falling asleep in the first inning of a game. Tell me, what changed this year? Did you lose your team? Did you lose interest in baseball? Seeing 4 managers fired in this season so far, do you consider yourself lucky? Do you have something over the White Sox?
Well, let me put on my glasses. So I do have some pictures, but I'll say that for later. But a lot of people are complaining about how our team has performed so far this year. I have no control over injuries. Injuries happen. I have no control over the mindset of certain players. They enjoyed the success that we had last year. Yes, we got bumped out the first round. It definitely sucked, but it was against an eventual ALCS champion. And so their expectations, maybe they kind of got a little bit over themselves in regards to the success they had last year. But even with all the stuff that's been going on around the team and the moves that I have made, if you look right now, our team is 1 game behind in the AL Central. So the same people that are dogging me and dogging this organization as if we're not doing anything, in about a month's time, they're still going to say that's why I am one of the best coaches in all of baseball. When I was with the Cardinals, which I love that team and I miss them dearly, people thought we was down and out, and then we had an incredible run in August, going to September and October, and we won the World Series. Just let me do my work. I know what I'm doing. I will not change for nobody because that's who I am, and that's why I was hired for this job. Just sit back and watch me work.
Tony, you need to start drinking some coffee in the dugout or something, because falling asleep in the first inning, it's not a good look.
When you saw the stuff I saw, you'll be asleep too.
There's so many pictures of him. Like, did you see the game the other night of him taking advice from a fan?
Yeah, I saw the video. It's crazy. But like I said, he's still 1 game back. It'd be different if you 15 to 18 games back like the Warriors and the Tigers, which I see Matheny his last year could be it right here.
Mm-hmm. He'll be the 5th manager.
Yeah. But yeah, 1 game behind after all that, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They've been playing good ball right now, though. They've had 2 comeback wins against the Astros the last 2 days, so maybe something turned around. Johnny Cueto apparently called out the team, so now they're going.
Yeah, so it takes that veteran we talked about that
Trying to
veteran
quit him.
leadership to bring the troops together. Like, you know what? Let's stop doing what we're doing and let's start acting like we're some champions. You know, that we can win the division like we did last year. And they can definitely do that. One great week. I'm sure they're gonna be playing the Twins and the Guardians very soon. Well, excuse me, a lot over the next 2 months. So allow things just to play out. I'm Tony La Russa. I'm one of the best managers of all baseball. One of what top 2 winningest managers of all time. There's a reason for that. I haven't lost it. I'm still good. I may not do the thing that you want me to do, but we're still gonna have a good product on the field, and we're going to be all right. And with that being said, Joe, it's that time. So
Yep.
thank you very much, and you have a great rest of your evening.
You too. Have fun with our special guest tonight.
Most definitely, most definitely. Once again, this is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. We need to get everyone right now to get them likes, get them shares going because it is the 8 o'clock hour, and this man is ready to tell his story. 100% authentic, keeping it 100, keeping it a buck. This is his moment. He is a product of St. Louis, y'all. 4 years, played 4 years at SLUH High School. Then he went on to play 4 years at the University of Missouri, KC. And then he finished up his grad season playing for, y'all know what that means, them Gators down there in Florida, down there in Gainesville. So I need everyone right now to go crazy with it, get them shares going, get them likes, because right now on your Wednesday night sports delight, I am glad to bring on to the show, and it's gonna be very cool how this interview comes full circle, and I'll explain that very soon. As now we have the one and only Brandon McKissic on the show. What's going on with you, brother?
What's up? How are you?
Man,
I'm
I am
good.
well. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm doing
I'm
well,
good.
man. Taking time off to be part of our show.
Nah, for sure. I was excited. I got the offer, the opportunity to do this. So, I'm excited. I'm honored to do this for sure.
Yeah, man, definitely an honor. And we already have our favorite fan, Miss Williams, saying welcome, Brandon.
Well, how are you? Hi, Ms. Williams.
There we go. Yeah, man. She's once again one of our faithful followers of the platform Sports Talk show. She loves to hear the interviews and be able to engage with a lot of our special guests. So once again, thank you very much for being part of this show. Take some time out of your day. Man, how's life been treating you, man?
Life's been good. Just I'm glad to be back home. Glad to be around my family. Working out with my coach and everything. Just getting ready for my next step. In my career. It's been a long time since I've been home for this long, so I'm just kind of just grateful for the opportunity to be around my family, the ones I love most.
Yeah, and with you going to University of Florida, I know it just for a year, but did you feel like you was like starting to change your how you talk, like a little more southern swing going on, or you were still St. Louis, Midwest?
Nah, I'm always gonna be St. Louis. I'm always gonna be St. Louis to my heart. If anything, I was close to become talking more like KC than anything. But I always got. I'm always gonna talk like a St. Louis kid. So it was a great experience though, being down there. Those people down there, it was a once of a lifetime experience.
Nice. So there's always been like this battle, with KC and St. Louis. Of course, the Royals and the Cardinals, and then the Chiefs, and back then the Rams, but also the barbecue, St. Louis and KC. So with you being in University of Missouri KC for 4 years, no pressure. But the people watching around the world, no pressure. KC or St. Louis barbecue?
St. Louis. Honestly, there's only one place that I would go eat barbecue, and consistently in Kansas City. But just back home, St. Louis barbecue is just overall just better to me in my taste palette. But I might make a lot of my KC people mad, so I'm just gonna leave it alone at that.
They'll be all right. They still love you regardless, man. Once again, this is the platform sports talk show. let's get right down to it, man. So one of the first questions, or the first question we love to ask our special guest is, when will you say that you fell in love with sports?
I picked up a basketball at age 3, and I never put it back down after that. So I really love the game since I was 3. I was really active. I played basketball, I played football. I played soccer, baseball, I swam. I did pretty much anything that I could get my hands and feet on. So I was always an active kid, but I think around like maybe after my 8th grade year, after 8th grade, I really started taking it a little serious basketball, really. But I still, love football. I love football to this day, But I had it was funny, bring up SLUH. Sophomore year, my coach came to me and said, "You can do something with the basketball, and I'm not letting you play football." So when he told me that, I really just locked in. I didn't mess around anymore. I'm getting up in the morning, I'm getting shots up in the gym. After practice, I'm the last person to leave the gym, getting shots up. It's just I really locked in, and I took pride in my craft and my work ethic.
Nice. And as you were getting better with basketball, who would you say were some of the people that helped develop your skills?
Coach Pee Wee, my AAU coach for St. Louis Eagles. I've been working out with him since I've been in 7th grade. That's like my second father, like my basketball dad. In my eyes, he really, took me in, and really just he had all the faith in the world in me. When 15U tryouts came for Eagles, I wasn't one of the guys that was, eyed as one of the players that was going to make it, because my freshman year, I had 8 seniors in front of me that played. So I wasn't really playing a lot on varsity. And mostly with Eagles, the program, if you was going to make the team, you had to be playing a lot of minutes on varsity. So, I went to the trial, and I balled out. Coach P went in there and fought for me and fought for my chance to be on the team. And then, the rest is history. So I played my all 3 years with the Eagles, and I stayed loyal to them. But it was Coach Pee Wee is definitely one of the main people in my life that really helped me develop my game and who I am today. And then after Coach Pee Wee, it was Coach Claggett. Coach Claggett, he put his faith in me after the freshman year. My sophomore year, I came back, and he put the ball in my hands, and he said, "I'm going to trust you." And when I got that trust, I ran with it. It was I really owe Coach Clegg a lot, because he put the utmost confidence in me, and I was only a sophomore with not many minutes played after my freshman year. And he went on a limb, a leap of faith, and I can't thank him enough for that.
And speaking of Coach Claggett, we had him as a guest on our show. I want to say about maybe a year and a half ago. It was an incredible interview. And just seeing that photo that I just had posted up on here and everything, the youngin. But when you realize that he was coaching, he's going to be your coach, and knowing that he's a legend at SLUH University, what was going on through your mindset? Like, oh man, this dude here, I'm about to have a legend to be my coach. Like, how did you feel taking that all in?
Well, it was crazy when he got the job my 8th grade year at SLUH, and ironically, small world, his family and my family are close family friends. So when he got the job there, and my dad came to me and was like, I know the coach at SLUH, like we're a close family, and I talked to him, and I just I trusted him, from day one, and it was just like it was once I knew that he was gonna be my coach, I was just getting prepared for it. And, I wasn't ready for what happened my freshman year. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't ready to just sit on the bench. There was games I would come home with my mom and just be so upset that I didn't play, because I wanted to play. I just wanted to get out there and show what I can do, but it wasn't my time yet. I had 8, like I said, I had 8 seniors in front of me that had already been there, that already seasoned. I had to wait my turn. I feel like that's one thing about me. I'm patient. I wait my chance. To do what I need to do. So, it was a big opportunity for me to be able to be coached by someone as highly regarded as Coach Clegg.
So, what was the reason, if you can recall, the reason why you went to SLUH High to play ball?
It's funny because I always get asked that to this day. Why did you go to SLUH? Why didn't you go to Chaminade, or why didn't you go to CBC or something like that? And I could have went to those schools. I applied for them. If I'm being honest, I applied for those schools, but I wanted to make my own name, my own legacy. And I felt like SLUH was the perfect opportunity for that. with a new coach and everything coming in, I was like, look, this is the perfect opportunity for me to make my own name, and I'm not, the sidekick, the helping crew is me, is Brandon McKissic. You're gonna know that name, and the Cards play how they played, and the rest is history, honestly. But I just wanted, the best opportunity to make my own name for myself and not have no one else be the reason that, I get a little spark to my name.
So I know that earlier you said that coach was telling you, no more football.
Mm-hmm.
So once you got to SLUH High, outside of football, did you play any other sports, or was it just strictly basketball?
My freshman year, I played football and basketball, and after that freshman year, it was summer workouts, and he pulled me aside and he was like, "You're not playing football." And because it was funny, because I was kind of thinking about, because I got called up to varsity after my freshman season, and I was gonna be playing varsity next year, sophomore year, and I was like, oh, I want to play varsity just for one season. I was already kind of thinking about that, and to him to come in and just be like, nah, like you're not playing football no more. And I was like, at first I was kind of like upset because I wanted to play, but then once I kept going through workouts and I kept playing the summer AAU and everything, I understood where he was coming from and where his heart was at. So I trusted him. Like I said, I've always trusted Coach Class since day one. So I just I trusted his word, and I put my head down and got in the gym every day.
That's pretty cool. So as you said, starting up, you didn't start right away. So pretty much you feel like you was humble. Do you feel like that pretty much helped you to develop to the guy that you are now?
I was definitely humble, because it showed me that, everything is a promise. That was the first, little taste of not everything is promised and not everything is going to be what it's going to be, or what you think it's going to be. I thought I was coming in, I was going to be, a freshman phenomenon with a type deal, and it wasn't that. I was a 5 to 5, maybe 10 minutes type of guy, in some games I just sit there and have my warm up on all game, but it humbled me. So, I feel like it made me a little more hungry that next year, when I was starting every game and I was, had the ball in my hands, I didn't want to get back to that point where I'm sitting on the bench with my warm up on. I was going to give him every reason to keep me on that court as long as I could until I had no more breath and I had to take a little break and I'd get back in. But I was going to give him every reason to keep me in that game.
And I love that you are bringing this up, because I'm sure there could be some other hoopers or other football players, any kind of sports related people who's watching this show right now that can hear your story be told in regards to you being humbled. I've had these talks with other coaches, former players, etc., about how these young kids are nowadays in school and how they feel like if one thing goes wrong, then it's all crazy, then it's the end of the world. It's kind of like a spoiled mentality. So I really hope that they can take a lesson from what you went through and being humble, but it also pushed you to be better than who you was when you first started. So I really hope that this could be a start of other kids not giving up because you're not starting right away. You may have been the guy at this spot or that spot or AAU, whatever it is, but going to high school is a different breed. And of course, going to college is a whole different breed as well. So I hope that people can really take this story and it can inspire them to say, you know what, it may not go my way from the jump, but I'm not going to give up.
No, yeah, definitely. That freshman season, and then going on into my next 3 years, and then even going to college, like you said, like there's been a lot of obstacles thrown my way. Where I could have just sat there and felt, woe is me, I'm gonna give up. I'm just gonna try. I didn't. I've never given up. I don't care what the situation is. I'm gonna find a way. Even like thinking about my freshman year, I didn't play a lot my non-conference my freshman year. I sat on the bench, and I was sitting there just supporting my team, being a good teammate. But when I get in the gym, I got in the gym every day. If I didn't play that much that game, I was gonna go back to the gym and I was gonna work out and I was gonna get better that day. And I was already set back because after my senior year, I had to have surgery on my shoulder, so I didn't work out my freshman summer. So I already knew I was gonna be a couple steps behind everybody. So I already had to catch up with that. I had to catch up with conditioning. I had to catch up with shooting again. I had to catch up with using my left hand, getting comfortable with that because I hadn't used my left hand in 5 months. So, I had to really fight, and like I was aggressive in the weight room and I was aggressive with training. And I just, I kept pushing myself because I couldn't allow myself to just give up. I didn't want to give up. You know, it was if I would have gave up, I would have looked back and been like, I would have regretted it. And the last thing I wanted to do is leave regret with the sport that I love. So I never, it's in my heart. I have a drive in my heart to never give up, regardless of situation. You know, people always think, you know, if you give up or you change change the situation, you know, maybe it'd be greener, but you know, the grass is never green on the other side. You got to make it green. You got to water the grass. You got to do what you got to do to make it green. That's what my opinion is.
Facts. You have to make it green. It just doesn't all of a sudden just go green for you. You had to make it green. You had to make it happen, and you definitely did that. So once again, I really hope that others who watching right now can take what you just said and use that for motivation to just make the grass green. That's definitely a great analogy right there. Ms. Williams says you need to allow yourself time to learn, to train, to develop. You know, so if you don't go through the hard times, how can you appreciate the rewards?
Exactly. You know, it's just like if you want it easy, like life ain't easy. Life has never been easy. You know, so why would you want it to be easy? Like, you know, you want the challenge because the bigger the challenge, you know, the bigger the reward. Like when you play video games, like when you play on easy, like for what? Like, you know you're gonna win. Like challenge yourself, because when you do win on a higher level, you proud of yourself in a sense. Like you're like, oh, I just beat him on like the highest level. Like, you know, it's simple things like that, you know. And I feel like even my parents, you know, growing up, like they never took it easy on me. Even if it was a board game, if it was foosball, air hockey, it didn't matter. They would literally try to put me into the ground. Like they didn't care. They didn't care how old I was. They they would treat me like I was a grown man when it comes to like even board games, you know. And they would sit there and talk to me and let me know that I'm losing. Because then when I came around and I started winning, I let them know that they was losing too, you know. So it was all part of the growing process. You know, you gotta take your L's, and you gotta have a learning process, and you gotta sit there and learn. It's all a process.
So how would you describe your overall basketball career at SLUH?
I honestly 101. You know, that's just me personally. I think my career at SLUH High School is 101. You know, I don't think there's another player that you could put side by side to me and be like, you know, yeah, that was a career that was close. You know, I don't think no one has done what I did at that school. You know, and I'm not saying that to be boastful or nothing like that. That's just how I personally feel. You know, I got there to a program that hadn't won a lot of games, hasn't won districts in 22 years. In my sophomore year, I take them to a district championship and end up taking them to a Final Four. You know, we didn't do what we want to do at the Final Four, but, you know, the school hasn't seen that in so long. So for me to do that back-to-back years at a prestigious school like SLUH, where they're not letting in everybody that as good as sports play, you know, like it's like you got to have the grades. You know, if you can have all the talent in the world, if you ain't got the grades, you're not getting in. You know, so I had to deal with what I had to work with. And I'm not trying to knock nobody or nothing like that, because I had wonderful teammates. I love all my teammates like they're my brothers. But, you know, I just feel like when I got there, you know, SLUH turned around. You know, I really turned it around with the help of Coach, with the faith and the trust of Coach Clegg and the teammates that I had. We really turned that around.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Once again, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight. I'm your boy Smoooth, and right over here we have special guests. Go ahead and tell them who you are.
B-Mac, you know, Brandon McKissic, but everybody know me. Everybody in the city know me B-Mac. You know, that's how we hold it down that way.
B-Mac is on the platform Sports Talk Show. So, when will you say during your high school career did you feel like everything was starting to click? Like, oh yeah, hold on, I got it. Now I'm about to take over. Now they're gonna know my name. Now I'm starting getting noticed. Here we go.
It was after the Pattonville tournament my sophomore year, because my freshman year I sat almost all the Pattonville tournaments. So my sophomore year I played, you know, and we came back after the Pattonville tournament. We played Vianney at SLUH for a silent night game. I had 33, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, now I'm cooking. Now I'm finna get I got the feel, you know, I got the feel of the gym. I got my feet wet, you know, now it's time. You know, after that 33-point game, I kind of just, you know, I had my ups and down games, but, you know, after that, I had the utmost confidence myself. I didn't care what shot it was was going up. You know, I got that. I had that confidence after that, you know, and in that game, everything was going in, everything contested, everything that you think wasn't going in, it was going in. So I was just like, yeah, after that game, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely finna get the role. And, you know, I'm definitely finna let somebody know who I am. And then And then after that, the season went by, and districts came around my sophomore year, and I district championship came, and I hit the buzzer beater, and that's when everything just started buzzing for me. Everything, my name was in the city now. I was like, I made my mark now, and now it's time to build off that, because that Webster Groves team was looked at as supposed to go to state and win that year. They had a senior laden team. They had a lot of great players. We already had beat them early in the season. A lot of people didn't really recall that. They kind of just thought, oh, that was a fluke. We beat them then. So they thought we were gonna come to the districts at Webster Groves and lose. And I knew we was gonna win that game. It was no doubt in my mind. And it came to the point where I got the 5-second call, and I came back at the huddle, and Clag looked at me and he said, "What hand do you want the ball in?" I told him, I said, my right hand. And then the rest was history after that. And I made that buzzer beater, and everything started buzzing after that. And we made that run to the Final Four. And after that, my junior year, I handled my junior and senior. After that, we went back to the Final Four my junior year, and my senior we fell short in districts. But after that sophomore year, those 2 big games that I had throughout that season, I really felt like I had put my name on the city, and now I can start building off that and letting people know that I'm here. I am here to just play game. I'm here to let everybody know who I am. By the time I'm gone, you're gonna know who I am.
So now that you are starting to get that buzz, then here comes the hoopla, the media. I'm pretty sure the girls, all the temptation. Look at that laugh. All the temptation. So how were you able to handle now being noticed every day you go to school, or no matter where you go, you're starting to be a rock star at your school and in St. Louis?
Honestly, my coaching staff, between Coach Clag and Coach Washington and Coach Baz, after the buzzer beater, they said, "You still a rascal." That was my nickname, because I was one of the youngest kids on the team, and I really looked up to Coach Clag, and I had a habit. I would, if I messed up, I would directly look at Coach Clag, and I was like a sad dog, so they started calling me rascal. And I still don't break that habit sometimes, and it's just like, after they always kept me humble. I never got a bigger head than, what was supposed to be. They let me have my confidence when I was on the court, because they wanted me to have that confidence. But, if they thought it was getting out of hand, they would let me know, hey, you still a rascal. You still the little puppy dog, that we always had as a freshman and stuff like that. They would remind me where I came from. And I appreciate them from that, because they always reminded me that I used to sit on the bench and be a bench warmer. And I had my warm-ups, and I would just, the only time I would break a sweat is in warm-ups. And I would just sit there and, and just cheer my team on. So, having that freshman year in the back of my head always, kept me humble.
That's definitely what's up, man. So trickling on, going to your senior year, of course, you're getting mad offers, that whole 9. Just tell us about that process and what was going on through your mind trying to decide on the school. I'm sure you have crazy letters coming in, bombarding your house, meeting coaches. Just kind of give us that point of view for those who, haven't experienced that yet, or just want to see, how it was to be, living your life during that time frame.
That time my life frame was a very humbling time frame for me, because, as you say, I was, playing my best ball in high school and all like that, but it wasn't the same, for AAU. I took a backseat role my 17 year. I played the true point guard, and I facilitated, and I just guarded. I took my pride. That's where I really took my pride in defense when we was playing 17 URBL, and I wasn't the main scorer, and I was just a facilitator, and I just, I took my pride in just, not letting people score, and so after my 16 year, which I actually did play a lot, and I went from a no star to a 3-star, and then after that 17 year, I got humbled. I only had like 6 offers, and to be honest with you, I didn't originally commit to UMKC. I really wanted to commit to 2 other schools that I had, and they wanted to wait, or they didn't want me to commit right now, and it humbled me, because like, why are you gonna offer me if I want to commit to you and you're not gonna, you're not gonna take the commitment, So like I said, everything isn't greener on the other side, and I'm thankful that UMKC, through because the coaching staff that was there originally, they know that I didn't out the gate commit to UMKC. They all know that, and the fact that they stuck with me and they still wanted me to be a part of their program, I'm forever grateful for that staff, that they, allowed me to, commit there and, be part of their program. So, that was a very humbling situation for me because, I thought that I was under recruited and, it was just like, I had to, like I said, take the opportunity that I got and make it green, So I went to UMKC and, I made the career that I had at UMKC.
So while you were in high school, of course, with Irvin Claggett already playing collegiate basketball before, was he one of the people that helped you along with dealing with the media, doing interviews, etc.?
No, he really trusted me, and he gave me his advice, beforehand, everything after sophomore year. He's like, you gotta go this way about, you gotta go this, but he let me be my own man. He really trusted me. He let me form the man that I am today. He just when he felt that he needed put his little 2 cents, guide me this way and that, he did, but he really allowed me to develop into the man I am in today. And he never came, he had a couple of times where we came at each other sideways on the court, but that's all part of the sport. But other than that, he really let me be my own person, and that's why I feel like that's why I am the way I am, because he never had like a handcuff on me. It was just me being me. He always allowed me to be me. But to Ms. Williams' question, how stressful that recruiting process, it really wasn't that stressful. It was more just, in a way disheartening, and it humbled, like I said, humbling. It was, I never really had stress because again, I wasn't really recruited like that. So it was really just the process was just figuring out where I was gonna go. So that was the biggest stress. If anything, I just try to commit to 2 schools, and they're saying, let's wait a minute, let's maybe not do this right now. I'm like, all right, I gotta find a place to go to school because I'm not trying to worry about college while I'm playing my senior year. I want to play my senior year stress-free, worrying about what college I'm going to, because I signed in the early period. So I had my whole season, the whole season just focused on my team and my career. My last year.
And speaking of that, let's talk about this scene right here and tell us what this picture means to you.
That's one of my favorite pictures from my career. That was my senior day. That was right before I had one of my best games of my career. I gave CBC the Blues that game, but that was that's one of my favorite pictures because I was I'm like I said, I'm forever grateful for him. That guy right there, that is one of the biggest people in my life when it comes to basketball. And like I said, he never told me to be someone I wasn't. He never tried to make me into something that I wasn't. He allowed me to be me to the fullest, and he just developed that. He kept pushing me to be better. I can think about stories like there's games that I would be tired and I'd be like, Coach, I need a break. Coach, I need a break. And he'd look at me and he'd be like, if you score 4 points, I'll give you a break. So I go and score 4 points. He'll call a timeout. Like, here's your break right here. It's 30-second timeout. And I'd be like, oh man. And I'm like, I thought I was gonna get a sub out or something. So he just kept pushing me to push my limits. It was a mental thing with him. He always was mental with me because he knew that I overthought a lot. I was always in my head. I was always, I'm a mental person when it comes to the game. Mm-hmm. So he always tried to, I'm not going to say mental games, but he definitely knew how to play my mental. And, he definitely got the best out of me for sure.
Ms. Williams says making a decision early is a benefit for your senior year.
Yes, it definitely was. It gave me the opportunity to have a clear head and just focus on my team and leading my team and being that senior captain and, and just giving my all for my last year in the SLUH High jersey. I wanted to give my all. I wanted to leave every last ounce of me on the court for that last game, for my last season.
And I don't think people really realize how crucial your mental is in regards to playing sports.
Yes, it is 100%. I'm one of the biggest advocates about mental health. Like, it is a big thing when you're playing sports. Like, if you're not mentally there, it's harder. It's a lot harder. You have to be mentally tough. You have to train your mind, regardless if it's a good game or a bad game, that you're gonna see better days. You're gonna move forward. Like, it's gonna be another day. You can't just be stuck on that. And I feel like with everything that I done been through and all the obstacles, ups and downs, I'm mentally strong. I'm still working. I'm never a full complete project. I'm not a final product. My game is not done. I still have more to develop. I'm not a final product of who I am. So, one day, every day, you gotta get 1% better in my 1% better as mentally or like whatever it gotta be. You gotta get 1% better every day.
And then after before I even bring that up, who were some basketball players that you admired that you wanted to have your game after?
High school or NBA, because honestly, like I'm
High
gonna be
school
honest.
first.
I mean, honestly, like I didn't really like idle my game after nobody. I just played. I was me. Like I got to tell you, I was just me. Like I never really like studied anybody's game and like try to emulate that. I didn't like that. Like I said, I've always wanted to make my own mark. I always wanted to be me. So like once I got working out with Coach Pee Wee in 7th grade, I put my head down. I didn't worry about nobody else and what they was doing. I was just worried about me, myself, and I. And we got in the gym every day, every weekend. We just going at it, in the gym. And it didn't matter where the gym was at. My mom, she did everything for me. She drove me everywhere, even if it was 30, 40 minutes away. We go into the gym and she gonna sit there and support me. And she gonna watch she watched all my workouts, Coach Pee Wee. She was really a witness to my work ethic and what came out of that, and I'm so grateful for her. My dad, he supported me with everything too. He gave me so much advice, not even just about basketball, about life, about a mentality. I feel like, his advice really molded a greater piece of my mentality and how I attack the game, how I attack life.
That's dope, man. I love it. Ms. Williams asks, what techniques do you use to address stress?
Honestly, I like to write. I write my stress out. I write it down, even if it's in my notes or it's in a journal. And I like writing in general. Like even for school, I didn't really. If it's something I like writing about, then I'll write 10 pages about. But if it's something I don't like writing about, then it's hard for me to write something. But writing, having someone that you can talk to and address that stress, getting it out. Like growing up, I had a bad problem with bottling, just kind of holding it in and acting like nothing's going on when something is going on. And, I had to break that, so I started, just being open about it and talking about it and writing about it, and just getting that off, because when you hold the stress in you, it grows and everything starts to get a little more tense, and I saw that in my life, so I had to just let it off my chest.
Nice. So tell us about this moment right here, which I know your parents were definitely proud. Uh-oh, you on mute right now. Hit that mute button again on your device. Sorry, y'all. Give us one moment here. It looks like his device is on mute.
Just here
you go. Yep, now you better go ahead.
You hear me?
Yep, you good now. Yep,
Hello?
you all good.
You hear me? I'm good. Oh yeah, but no, yeah. So yeah, that picture right there, that's another one of my favorite pictures of my career, because those are the two guys that truly allowed me to be myself and my best self and my true form of who I am as a player. Those are probably the two people that have some of the most faith in me as a player.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's the moment that you was signing to UMKC, going to the Roos, correct?
Oh, I can't hear you.
Let's see. Looks like for some reason his connection in which he cannot hear me. So we're gonna work on that and get that right. See, let me see if we can go to his settings here. Give me one moment, everyone. All right, so he's gonna check his connection. Can you hear me now, Brandon? All right, so he's gonna go out and back in. In the meantime, let's go over his comments. Let's see. What a great smile, right? Yep. Hey, I'll be smiling to be able to sign going to a college and everything. So that's definitely an incredible feeling. And I believe he is back. Let's see. Brandon, are you back with me?
I hear you now. I'm like, oh man, everything went mute for a second.
What happened? You gotta love technology, right?
Yeah, I love technology.
Yeah, so just going back once again, that was a picture of you signing your letter of intent going to the Roos, UMKC. So outside of them being persistent and everything, what else was it about UMKC that made you want to join?
Yeah, the number one thing for them was their persistence for sure. They was definitely the most persistent out of any coach staff. They definitely made me feel like they wanted me the most and they wanted me to be a part of their family. It was a family vibe, you know. They were really the only staff that came for a home visit, you know. Like they came to my house, you know, and they met and they talked to my family. You know, it was Coach Richardson and Coach Hollander at the time, you know, and they really, you know, they really made it known that they wanted me a part of their program, you know. And after everything, you know, I just knew that was home. I called Coach K. Rich, you know, and I was like, I want to be a Roo, and you know, we made it happen.
So Ms. Williams asking who were the two men. So the person on the right was, of course, his coach, Aaron Claggett, but the person on the left.
That is Coach Pee Wee or Coach Daryl Leonard. You know,
Okay.
that's my basketball dad. That's what I call my basketball dad. That's my guy. You know, I still work out with him to this day, 3 times a day. You know, we've been going about 3-4 hours a day since I've been home, and you know, we just get it in. We just nothing but work, nothing but work.
Nice. So 4 years at UMKC. Tell us about that transition, playing high school ball to now playing at UMKC Division I ball. You know, now you're out there in the big leagues and going to college. So tell us about that transition.
The transition was really hard for me because, like I said, right after my senior year, the next Friday after I lost districts, I had to get a full labrum repair in my left shoulder. So I was out for 5 months. So I also gained 30 pounds. I was 180 before the surgery. And when I got out of the sling, I was 210.
Wow.
So, and the coaches didn't even recognize me when I got there. I got on campus. They were like, who is that? They asked my mom, who is that? And she told me, like, that's Brandon. And they was like, oh, like, he got bigger. And I was like, yeah, he ain't been doing nothing for 4 or 5 months. You know, so it was hard. You know, it was a really hard transition. You know, like I had to make up time for a time that I lost, you know. So that transition was really hard for me, and I couldn't even play contact. I had to sit there and watch my team just pick up that. I couldn't even get a bar on my shoulder, and like that. I had to lift dumbbells the whole time, and I could only run for a certain amount of time. So it was really hard at first, you know, getting back into the swing of things. But once I was able to go full contact, full mode, like I hit the ground and I had to start running. You know, it wasn't time for crawling or baby steps. I had to start running when I hit the ground, you know. So, you know, the transition at first, like I said, I didn't play much my non-conference, but I grinded and I worked hard and I kept pushing everything that I had to push for. And I began to start by conference. And when I got the conference, you know, like through the first set of multiple games, I was shooting 100% from 3. You know, I didn't, and it was just like, it was all reaping a reward of not giving up, you know, in my eyes. I didn't give up. I just kept working. I just kept putting my head down and kept working, you know, and I trusted God. You know, a lot of people, you know, they had that surgery, you know, they kind of, you know, lose faith a little bit. You know, I trusted God through that whole process. You know, I was like, and the funny thing is, like, even though I wasn't supposed to be really active, you know, my mom would catch me, you know, shooting form shots with my right hand. And I got the sling right here. I'm like this. I'm doing like this the whole time, just shooting form shots in the gym while I'm watching people practice, watching Eagles practice after my last year. And I was just sitting there shooting form shots because I missed the game so much, you know. So it was really, you know, just trusting God and, you know, just, you know, understand that, you know, there's a bigger plan, a bigger picture. You know, it's already written. You know, you got to keep going. You know, you can't just give up.
Most definitely. So, in between the lines, what would you say was the biggest transition for you from high school to college basketball?
At first, it was the speed. Definitely the speed of the game. You know, it was a little bit faster. You know, I was getting a little winded faster. I was like, oh, like, you know, like possessions are changing a little faster, you know. And then it got to be the confidence in me, like a confidence with me with the ball in my hand. You know, I was kind of hesitant. You know, I wasn't the same confident kid that I was at SLUH, you know, where I can just, you know, get to my spots, pull up, you know. I had to, you know, change the game. And plus, you know, it was different staff and we had different philosophy than what Coach Clegg had. You know, my staff, they didn't really like mid-range jump shots. And that's where I made my money at, you know, during school. I get to mid-range, I pull up. Is, you know, one too many times I was missing that. So, you know, it was a different thing. I had to change my game to a college game because they looked at stats like either layups or threes, you know. So it was like getting my games, you know, formed to where I needed to fit in the program in the scheme of things, you know. That was what was hard for me, you know. And so doing all and working on that, and like again, you gotta get in the gym and work on what you gotta work on, you know. And that's what it really. After I got kind of hang of the speed, then I can start getting a hang of, you know, catch and shoot, you know, catch it, pump fake, get to the rim, or make a play off of that, you know, just kind of building off that, like growing my college basketball IQ, because college basketball and high school basketball are two different things.
So during that process, I know you said that you had your college coaches, but was Coach Pee Wee still a big part of your matriculation to college?
Coach Pee Wee and Coach Cladd was both a big part of that. You know, they've got phone calls from me, you know, at the games. You know, I remember Coach Cladd called me after we played Wichita State my freshman year, and we got blown out by 50. And him and Coach Washington was at Buffalo Wild Wings. They was like, we here sitting here watching you get blown out by 50. I was like,
not at Buffalo Wild Wings.
yeah, it was. I started laughing, but it was like, you gotta, you know, just like be you. They kept telling me just to be me, you know, and just in the best way possible, you know, and just, you know, I think that stuck with me because, you know, like the guys that, you know, trusted me the most, you know, and trusted who I am, like they always just told me to be me, you know. So I feel like that was the one thing I kept repeating in my head as I kept going, you know, just to be me at all times. Like never let no one else change you, but you change you if you feel like you need to change. But I never felt like, you know, I just kept being me.
I thought this photo right here was pretty cool. Kind of symbolized a whole lot to me. Seeing this picture here. You at UMKC facing off at SLUH, coming back home to the home where Claggett, you know, played, and it was the man at SLUH, and you facing off against another St. Louis legend and Yuri Collins at SLUH. So just tell us about going back to SLUH University, playing there at that arena, and playing against Yuri and just against SLUH.
That was a very big game for me. You know, Yuri, you know, my cousin Jordan was still there. You know, that was a big game. You know, me and him talked about a lot. You know, we both saw it on the schedule. We instantly called each other. He was like, you know, we play each other, right? And I was like, yeah, I know. And I was excited. You know, I was foaming at the mouth for them. You know, like I was ready. You know, when we got on that bus to go down to St. Louis, I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready. You know, I couldn't wait. And you know, I got there, you know, it just everything took its course the way it did. You know, I had a good game, you know, even though we didn't get the win, you know, I wish we could have won. That'd have been the cherry on top if I would just won the game at SLUH, you know, but you know, I had a really good game, and you know, I got to play in front of my parent, you know, play in front of my not even my parents, but play in front of my hometown, you know, and you know, see that love, like still getting the love from them, from people from my hometown, you know, it felt good.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I know it had to be a great feeling to be able to come back home and, you know, play against your boy and, you know, like you said, cousins or whoever else at that time, and, you know, hold it down. How many points did you have that game?
I had 21, I think.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah, quick 21.
Savage on them.
Yeah, quick 21. But you know, it was I wish like I said, you know, like some more than most, you know, I just care about winning, you know. It ain't about what I do, you know. Like I can score 30 and we lose, and they ain't gonna talk about my 30. They gonna talk about the guy who had maybe 20 and won, you know. So I wanted to win. That was the biggest thing for me. I wanted to get a win against my hometown. That's what I wanted to get. But you know, we came up short, you know, the rest, you know. So, but I'm glad that I also did get to put on, you know, for myself in my hometown, you know, and show that, you know, I'm still that, you know. It ain't like ain't nothing changed, you know.
Ms. Williams asked, what was your major in college?
I got my bachelor's in communications, studying in mass medias and journalism.
Nice. Okay. So you got some plans on trying to be take my job or be a reporter or something, huh?
Yeah, I definitely thought about being a sports analyst or a sports writer, you know, and you know, and doing that stuff. So, you know, like after, you know, the ball stops bouncing, you know, if I want to, you know, think about that, I definitely, you know, thought about that a lot.
I have another question I'm gonna save for later on, because you did about something that I want to get your opinion on, especially with you being a you know, previous college basketball player. So 4 years, UMKC, post grad. What made you decide to choose Florida? Because I know SLUH was an option. I know Mizzou was an option. What was it about Florida that, you know, made you say, no, what, I want to go there?
I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted the biggest challenge, and you're right. SLU is in the play, Mizzou is in the mix, but I didn't like. If I want to be honest with you, I didn't want to come home. There was too many distractions at home. That was me making the mature decision to just be like, I don't want to be distracted by what is here and what's at home. I know what comes with being in St. Louis. I didn't want to have those distractions. I wanted to go away. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to be in the SEC. I wanted to play against the best of the best. I wanted to play against those guys. I wanted to see how I matched up against those guys. So that's why I wanted to go to Florida. And then people could say, "Oh, if you want to go to SEC, you could have went to Mizzou," and Mizzou is an hour and a half away from St. Louis, and that's still distractions. I wanted, do this on my own terms, on my own time. And, I wanted to make the decision that I felt like I was going to, develop myself not only as a player on the court, but develop myself as a man off the court.
So I'm glad that you brought that up in regards to local, because I was one of them people that was like, oh man, will he might choose SLU? Will he might choose SLU? Whatever. Do you think it's funny how social media, they can take it a whole nother direction? You know what I'm saying? So you already knowing pretty much that they may not have been like a very close decision for you to make. But of course, it's being hyped up in the media. So how did it make you feel when you're seeing social media hype this up like, oh, it's a chance he might go to SLU or he might go to Mizzou? Oh, it's right there. Knowing from your point of view, like not saying they didn't have a chance, but they didn't have a chance.
I wouldn't say they didn't have a chance, or in my mind didn't have a chance. I really didn't try to pay attention to too much of social media because I didn't want to let anybody's words or anybody's reports sway my decision. I really put my phone down half the time and really just thought. I wrote about what I was thinking. What I wanted to do, what I wanted with my life. Where was I gonna go, because that was gonna be the next step in my life. So. When SLU was definitely one of the choices that I was leaning to outside of where I went to, which was Florida. But it was my own path, and I feel like if I would have went to SLU, it wouldn't have been my decision. It would have been everyone else that was in my ear, that was in my support circle, that was telling me to come to SLU. It would have been their decision. It wouldn't have been me being 21, 22 years old making that decision for myself. I wanted to make the decision that I felt was best for me, not what everyone else thought was best for me.
So now you're at Florida. So you already played at UMKC and played in that conference, and now you're going to the SEC. Just tell us about the experience of playing in a major conference like the SEC and balling against those teams like the Kentuckys and the Tennessee Volunteers, and of course Mizzou and other schools in the SEC.
It was a great experience. It's a great game in and out. Every game is a good game. There ain't no game where you can walk in and be like, oh, we're gonna cakewalk them. That's what I liked about the SEC. It was always a good game. It was always competition. It was always, there was always a guy on the team that was that guy, and it was it excited me, having that true competition where I know that it's gonna be a dogfight every night, and I love that. I love being in a dogfight. I love getting physical and getting because the SEC was a very physical conference. I like the physicality. So it was a great experience, a great opportunity. Like I said, it was a once in a lifetime chance. And I'm just so grateful to God that he gave me the opportunity to do that.
Which away stadium will you say gave you the hardest time?
I know I was just talking about this too. Everybody will probably say like Kentucky or Tennessee, but the hardest away gym to play in is Auburn. Auburn was one of the hardest gyms to play in away because it's called the jungle for a reason. You feel like everyone in the gym is just right on top of you. You can't hear a thing in the gym. And the thing is most student sections or most crowds, they get quiet when you playing well. Or they get quiet when you score. Nah, they getting louder. They get louder every time somebody put the ball in the hole. And it's just getting louder and louder and louder to the point where, we come over to our coach to try to get plays, and he right in our ear. We can barely hear him. It was that's why Auburn was definitely one of the hardest gyms to play in.
What would you say is your favorite gym to play at?
Oh, Odom. I'm not even gonna sit here and say an away gym. I'm gonna say the O Dome, O'Connell Center, right in Gainesville, Florida. That was my favorite gym to play in. The rowdy reptiles, Gator Nation. They show so much love. You know, they bring it every game. You know, I love playing the O Dome. You know, that was a dream come true. You know, and it was just like I would wish that I could play one more game in there in front of them, because that was some of the most fun that I had. You know, playing in front of them. So by far, no questions asked, the O Dome.
And now I think about it, because I appreciate state arenas like you said, the O Dome or in Auburn. Even back then, when we probably don't recall, like how before Mizzou Arena, you had the Hearn Center, and like you said, people were like literally on top of you. You know how nowadays these stadiums or arenas being built, and which is more spacious and more, further back. But I love that intimate, they right on your head feel. Kind of like if I use on a platform. You know what I'm saying, playing in front of these people because they right over your head. So with that being said, how would you say you was able to manage dealing with the fanatics in the crowd and trying to wipe that out during the game?
You know, it's easy for me, honestly, personally, to tune out the crowd, because I be so into the game. Like, I be so like worried about who I'm guarding or who I'm talking to on another team. Like, cause I trash talk. Like, I try to get people heads. Like, I don't care. You know, I talk to anybody on another team. I let them know, like, I'm kind of one of those players. I like to heckle other teams. You know, like, I don't really worry about, other fans. Like, maybe if I get onto the bench and I'm sitting on the bench and I hear something. Now, there's a couple times that I didn't hear something when I'm on the bench from a fan. I'll turn around and say something back. You know, that's just who I am. You know, like, but I didn't really worry about the fans like that. Like, it's so funny that you bring it up, because we went to Kentucky, and we had a little like incident where I slipped into one of the players' legs and he got hurt. He was done with the game, and everyone in the stadium was booing me every time I touched the ball. They was booing me, and I didn't know. Like, I had to go back to my mom and all them, and they was like, "Did you hear them booing you?" And I was like, "Huh?" Like, they was booing me. Like, I didn't even know. Like, and I went back and watched the game, and they was booing me bad. Like, it was so bad. Like, I was like, wow. Like, I didn't even know. Like, I didn't even hear it. Like, but you could hear it through the TV. They was booing me, and I'm like, oh man. So like, I didn't really focus on the crowd like that. Like, it's funny. Like, I had a mentality about the crowd. Like, at the end of the day, you talking about me, but you here to come watch me play. Like, I can't really. I'm not like, you gonna be mad all you want, but you paid to watch me play. So,
I like it.
So I if you got animosity, that's on you. That's on your heart. That's on your money too, because you paid to watch me play.
And they also watch to see you on TV. So tell us about knowing that you're going to be on national TV. You're going to be on ESPN and CBS, and all these dope networks that you're on. Was that something that was like motivating you, or like you look over, you see Dick Vitale, or you look over, you see this guy here and that guy there, Jay Billis or whoever?
It's like, it'd be different, if I was probably like in that for longer. But like, I went to a school where I played in a rec center. I literally played in a rec center, and like, I didn't get no TV time. I got time in the game, and like, when you playing in a rec center, you're not even feeling a rec center. You don't worry about outside. You worry about what's in lines. Because if you worry about what's outside of the lines, when you in a rec center, like who in the crowd, we're not focused on what's real. You supposed to be focused on the game. Like, you came to play. I'm coming to lace my shoes up and play a game of basketball. I'm not worried about who in the crowd. Like, and I feel like me being UMKC for 4 years really kind of like numb me out for that, if you want to say it. It really just numbed me about, like, who's in the crowd, who's announcing, who's watching, like all that. I really was in a humble situation. So, I when I got to a point where I was getting put on ESPN every game, and I had, like you said, Jay Biles, Dick Vitale, all that stuff, like, it was cool, but like, I wasn't really focused on it like that.
That's what's up, man. That's a great attitude to have. Once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show, your Wednesday night sports delight. I am your boy Smooth, and right over here we got special guests.
B-Mac, B-Mac from SLUH, UMKC, Florida graduate.
There you go, doing the damn thing on your Wednesday night sports delight. Talk about the COVID season. I know it was crazy times, man, for everybody. Then you end up playing at arenas with no fans or
I
two
loved
people
it.
there. You loved it,
I,
huh?
I loved it because COVID season, it showed who's a dog and who wasn't.
Mm.
Because there's a lot of players in my COVID season that needed crowds. You know, they need the teams that needed crowds to play well. You know, so you take the crowd out of it, you take the fans out of it. Nah, it's who the bigger dogs now. Who five is got more dog than the other five. So I love COVID season. You know, it was real raw. It was a raw season. You know, it was. And I loved it. I love every part of COVID season, you know, and I was thankful tonight. I only missed 2 games due to COVID. You know, we had one COVID incident on our team, but other than that, we played most of the games that we had scheduled. So you know, I was grateful for that. You know, I didn't get COVID once that year. Or actually, no, I didn't get COVID that year. My roommate got COVID, but I didn't get it. I was blessed enough that I get it. The whole time, the whole COVID season, I did not test positive for COVID. So you know, I love COVID season. I love that year. You know, I hated that COVID ended my junior year because the team I had my junior, I feel like we would have won our conference tournament and we went to the year. But you know, everything happened for a reason. So I love that COVID season.
Ms. Williams said after 2 years, COVID finally caught up with her last week. So that's why she wasn't on our show, leaving the comments because she had COVID. So we're glad that you're better, Ms. Williams. And someone you may know left a comment. Who is this? Says St. Louis is home, but Florida is second home. Love you, BB. All heart, ball out. Who is that?
That's my Florida mom. That's my Florida mom. I love her to death. She is one of the most genuine people that I've ever met in my life. You know, she just met me in June when I got there, and she took me in as a son and loved me like her son, and she I could never repay her for everything that she did for me that year. You know, there was games where I'd be upset about how I played, and I would text her because she would wait for me at every game and talk to me, you know, and be there for me because she was really when I say Florida mom, I mean Florida mom. Like that was my mom. Like when I'm with her, I call her mom. I tell people that's my mom, you know. So like there was games I'd be mad and I'd be upset, and she would sit outside my car and wait for me. There was one game she sat outside my car for like an hour and waited for me to get out. And she was like, "No, I'm gonna sit here and wait." So then I was like, "Oh, she is gonna sit here and wait." So I had to get my stuff up and get out there so I can, you know, let her get home and get rested, you know. So, you know, I like I said, like God brings you to places for a reason. I feel like, you know, ultimately God brought me to games to meet her and and create that relationship with her and create that bond, because that's someone that, you know, I will forever be grateful for, and I will never, you know, not want in my life.
And for those listening on Hot 365 Radio right now who can't watch, why don't you go ahead and shout out her name?
Her name's Lourdes Sancerni, or Judge Mom, because she just got, you know, appointed to be a judge in Orlando. You know, that's Judge Mom.
Congratulations.
So, you know, that's you know, that's someone really close to my heart, you know, and I do anything for her, you know. That's real.
That's love. And also for those listening on Hot 365 Radio, we will be going off the air in 2 minutes. So definitely go right now to Facebook or Twitter or YouTube and watch the rest of this incredible show. As right now we're staying live on the other sources in a matter of a minute and a half or so. You'll be cut off on Hot 365 Radio. Ms. Williams says, God sees your need and sends people to meet it.
No, yes, yes, for sure. God does see our need and sends people that, you know, we need, you know, and I feel like, you know, in that situation where I was at, I was going to a new school, I was going to a new environment, or in a state and city that was completely different in Missouri, in the St. Louis, Missouri, you know, and like he brought me someone that has a big loving heart, and she, like I said, she took me in as her own son. You know, she has a daughter, and I love her daughter like my own sister. You know, that's my sister. I'll tell everybody it's my sister. You know, so she really took me in as her own. You know, and I'll never, you know, take that for granted ever.
And that's lovely. That's lovely. So, how hard was it for you in regards to this an adjustment for being in KC to being in Florida, and not basketball wise, just in regards to the state itself?
It wasn't hard. I like the weather a lot more. So it wasn't really hard to get to the adjustment. You know, I like being in the sun every day. And I ain't worry about snow. I ain't to worry about, you know, only thing about Gainesville is Rainsville because it rained a lot out there. But, you know, other than that, that weather was second to none. You know, the environment out there, I never had an active fan base like that. You know, when we was at UMKC, you had the Royals, you had, you know, like you had the Chiefs. But then after that, you know, Kansas City didn't really support UMKC like that. You had K-State and KU shirts and signs everywhere in Kansas City. It was no UMKC like that, you know. So being in a city that was all University of Florida and supported us and had our back, you know, there were our fair weathers, but you know, they support us through everything, you know. It was different. It was a different vibe that, like, you know, I liked. You know, I liked, you know, being part of a culture that supports and goes hard and, you know, and rides for their team like that.
So let's talk about definitely one of the hot topics in college. I know that now that you're out, so I'm pretty sure you can have even more to say about it. But that is, of course, NIL and the transfer portal. So that whistle, go ahead and take it away. Your thoughts in regards to the NIL and how much of a game changer, and do you feel now that you're out, do you feel that is helping or hurting the college game?
I don't want to say it's necessarily hurting, but it's also making it's definitely changing the game of college basketball. I will say that. Like, NIL is change. I mean, I had a couple opportunities with NIL, you know, my last season, you know, but now it's just getting to the point where it's like, dang, like so many people are making some money, you know, and it's like I don't blame them, you know, like when you making money like that, you know, it's just like, hey, you gotta respect their hustle, like, you know, if people, you know, doing what they doing, you know, networking like that, it's also a form of networking, you know, and that's like I feel like that's what I feel like people don't really see. They just see the money part of it, but you're not gonna make money just sitting there and just, you know, smiling. Like, you still gotta network. You still gotta talk to people. You still gotta be yourself. Because no one's gonna put money into someone that's, you know, a bad person. People outside of the game and all that stuff. You know, so you still gotta be a real, genuine, good-hearted person to get NIL deals. You know, you gotta network. You gotta, you know, showcase your best self. You know, so in a way, it's too early for me to say if it's helping or hurting. I want to see how, you know, like this year goes, maybe like the next year, because I still have a lot of, you know, my teammates and friends that are in college basketball. So you know, you know, I care a lot about everybody, you know, I'm involved with and I share time with and I grind with. So I'm always involved and I'm always texting those guys, and like, you know, it's just I want to see how, you know, things develop with that, you know, because it could be some good, you know, but it also could hurt the game, you know, because obviously, you know, you could just throw NIL money, you know, like, oh, you're gonna get this much money if you come here. You're gonna get this, like, you know, that'd be the new, you know, how, you know, when I was in college, you couldn't do that. You couldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna give you this much money if you come here. You couldn't do that. That was against the rules. So now it's like, now it's the little, I'm gonna throw an NIL deal. We're gonna get you this NIL deal. You know, it's like, you know, so it's really gonna be interesting to see how this NIL stuff plays out in the next couple of years. But with the portal, see, I've had my fair share of time with the portal, you know. So I went through a coaching change, and I went in the portal, and I ended up staying at UMKC. But then I also went in the portal again mid-season my senior year for, you know, those reasons. But I went in the portal and I came back again, and I went in the portal after my season was over. So I've had a time in the portal, and, you know, I just like knowing how the portal worked before my junior year, because if I would have transferred after my sophomore year, I had to sit out a year. And then if I would have transferred after my sophomore year, I would have another year of college basketball this year because of how COVID and everything played out. But now that the portal is, you can transfer your first time in the portal, you can play right away. That changed the game. You know, like I was like, dang, like that's gonna change the game right there. And I already knew it was coming because I was part of the NCAA basketball rules committee. So I was listening on all stuff. I was involved in all that stuff. So, like, you know, I was already getting prepared for that one. So I was like, okay, like I already know this was gonna go on. So, you know, being part of the NCAA rules committee and, you know, seeing how all that developed, you know, I'm not mad about the rule change. You know, I don't I don't ever want to take away. That's one thing about me. Like that's why I really didn't transfer to my sophomore year, because I just didn't think that I could sit down and watch basketball for a year. I couldn't just sit there and go through the lifts, go through the practices, go through all the conditioning, and not play the game. I just couldn't do it. I knew I couldn't do it. I would be sitting there restless. I'd be like, I'm ready to play. I'd be sitting there ready to play pickup after the game was over. Like I would be like, I need some. So I just, changing that rule, like I'm glad that rule was kind of changed, honestly. It was different, but I liked it.
So I have my pros and cons about it. Pros is the exact situation you brought up in regards to a coaching change that happened, because you get recruited by a certain person. If that person gets let go, then I feel like that's where the transfer portal should go into effect in regards to, well, you know what, the person who recruited me left, so I'm about to go ahead and make my own moves too.
Exactly.
But the cons about it is I feel like players leave similar to like you in high school and how you said that you didn't start, but you stayed on and you made yourself better. While players are now, if they don't start, if they ain't getting a lot of clock, then they quit to use the transfer portal. So it's like, to me, you're not trying to stick it out and be a better person. You're trying to find the easy way out and trying to see if the grass is greener on the other side. So tell me just your thoughts about that, because I feel like it should be some kind of sanction rules in regards to like it has to be a reason. A coach gets fired, okay, boom, or you gotta stay at that school for at least 2 years and then transfer,
Right.
something like that.
Well, I feel you, and it's funny because a lot of my basketball friends, guys that I know in the basketball world, they come to me when they come to the portal. They always like, all right, like they'll call me like, B-Mac, I know you've been through it a couple times. I know you know your way around it. Like I just need your advice on the transfer portal. And I'm just like, okay, here we go. And I'll be real with them. I'll be like, look, if you can honestly sit here and tell me that there is nothing you can do to A, make your situation better, or B, the situation is not already the best situation for you, then why are you transferring? Like, I want you to tell me why do you want to transfer? Like, and if it's for the right reasons, I'll sit there and tell you, hop in the portal then. But if you can't tell me a good reason, or you tell me a BS reason, like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna, like, I just feel like, don't that's the easy way out. The pro is the easy way out. Like that's how I feel about it sometimes. Like it's either gonna be the easy way out or it's gonna be the right decision. And that's why I it's hard. It's hard to tell. But everybody's situation is different. So like I had one guy come to me and he was like, I don't know if I want to stay here where I know I'm gonna get the ball and I know I might average 20, or I want to go to the SEC and I'm gonna get this many shots a game. They already told me I'm gonna get this many shots a game. I'm gonna get this amount of money. Da 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 da. And I'm like, look, like, either you're going to, like, at the end of the day, it's all about numbers. So if you're going to sit here and tell me you're going to get 9 threes a game and you're going to shoot them 9 threes a game, then go ahead. Go to the SEC. But you got to be wary. Are you going to make those threes? You're going to make at least 6 of those threes, so that, because it's all about your numbers. At the end of the day, it's all about numbers. The scout, like, when you go into the professional world, they're going to look at your numbers. Like, that's being real about it. Like, I averaged almost 18 points shooting 43 from 3 and 50 from the field my senior year, UKC, and I dropped points. I dropped all my points when I went to Florida. And that's what the first thing was brought up. Why did the drop-off happen? So that, like, knowing what I know now, when people come to me about the portal, I tell them, say, look, I understand it may look like a better situation to you. It may seem like a better situation to you. The name, the conference, all that stuff. But are you going to do the same thing that you just did at this school at the next school? Because if you're not, there's no point in doing it. There's no point in doing it at all. You might as well go back to the school and improve on what you did.
Very, and like Miss Williams said, very insightful. So as you were just saying, it's definitely the transfer portal. It can be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. All, like you said earlier about the grass being greener, sometimes it ain't. Sometimes you gotta make your own. Grass be greener the whole nine. It just be smart, man. Don't take the easy way out, man. Life, when you go through college, that's that part of life that you're figuring out how to be a man. What I'm saying? And make grown man decisions. And that's part of it, and it's all about character building too. You're going to have those challenges. You're going to have those trials. You're going to have those, Oh Lord, it's coming to my it's coming on the top of my head right now, but I can't think of it right now. But temptation, you're gonna have all that, but it's like at the end of the day, are you truly doing what's best for you and your career?
Right, because like if you make the decision and it's not what you want it to be, are you gonna sit there and say, "Oh, I did this because"? Are you gonna say, "Oh, I did this because he said to do this"? Or like, no, you gotta live with your decision. Like whatever decision you make, that's you gotta live with that. You can't put your decision for your life on someone else. You gotta make a decision for you, and you gotta live with it. Like that's what I did. I made the decision to go where I went, and I gotta live with what I chose to do. And I got it's another obstacle. Everybody's wondering, can he score? Can he shoot? So I gotta show them. Yeah, I can score and shoot. What? Yeah. So I gotta show them. So it's just like whatever decisions you make, you live with the decisions. Whatever comes out of it, you gotta be a man and accept it, and then keep moving forward.
So, after your career at Florida, did you have any high hopes of getting drafted in the NBA? Were you told that there's a good chance?
All right, like I'm gonna be real with you. I'm already 23 years old. I know I want to get drafted. Like I'm 23. I'm past the mark. This COVID year really messed up a lot of people's careers. Like you got to think about these GMs they drafting for potential. They drafting for the future. They ain't drafting for right now. They can pick up some guys for right now in the free agency. They can pick up guys for right now in the G League. They can pick up guys for right now in overseas. But they gonna use some draft picks on guys they gonna use for the future. So those are the 19, 20, 21-year-olds that they're trying to get with the draft picks. I already had that. I didn't put that thought in my mind. Like after I was done with my season, I called Coach Pee Wee. I said, let's go to work. Let's go to work. I'm just gonna get in the gym and I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna, whatever team, picks me up and again puts me on their team, I'm gonna just go all out for them and keep going that way. I'm gonna take my route because my route has never been easy. My route was never a free handout. My route was what I made it and what I earned from it. So the draft, I didn't really think about it after the season. I just thought about where am I going so I can make the next step for my career.
And which leads to last Friday, you made the announcement that you have now signed professionally.
Yes.
Play for the Newcastle Eagles overseas.
Yes.
How did that come about?
So it was funny, the Newcastle coach called me and he said, I've been trying to get on the phone with you for a while, but your agents, they didn't want me to talk to you right now. They wanted to, explore all options and all that stuff. And then when we got on the phone, he just, he said a lot of great things. He wanted me to be a part. Is a new coach, a new head coach there. So, his values was on toughness and and like he wanted dogs on his team. He wants to win. He wants the toughness, competitiveness. So, I like what he had to say. And he's building something special over there. And the team that I'm playing with, they known for winning. And it was a down year for them. So, me looking at okay, just had a down year with a new coach. Now I can come in, make my mark, and let's bring this team back to where they're supposed to be. I feel like it's a full circle moment for me, and it's just like now is my time, really to show what I can do on the court with the ball in my hand.
And I'm pretty sure with you playing at Florida, you may have had like an exhibition game overseas. Is that correct?
Oh no, we did not. Not my year. My year, all we did was work out. We worked out, we lifted, and we got it in that year. So it I don't even think they went overseas this year. I'll probably do that next year. But I had guys this year go overseas, and do that stuff. I always wanted to do that. But it was funny. We was gonna do that going into my senior year, but COVID hit. We were supposed to go to Italy, going into my senior year, but COVID hit, so we couldn't even do it.
So when do you leave to go to play for Newcastle?
I leave on the 30th, and I'll be in Newcastle on the 31st, and we have our first preseason game on September 8th. So I will be hitting the ground practicing.
Nice. So are your parents nervous, excited? What?
They excited. We haven't really talked about it too much, because I'm a real big family person. I love my parents. I love everything they did for me. I love my family that supported me this whole way, So I haven't really talked to him about it much because it's kind of an emotional subject. I hate that I'm leaving my family for 8 months, but it's for a bigger picture. And I just can't wait. I'm excited for this opportunity.
And do you feel, well, it's very possible, you do your thing, you ball out, there's still a chance for the NBA.
Oh yeah, always. That's never out of the picture for me. Like I don't care. I'm gonna get back. I got it written. I got it written on a piece of paper, and I'm getting there. It's funny. I had a conversation with Coach Pee Wee. We always talk about. He always tell me, "You're a pro. You're gonna get your chance in the league," and I believe that too. And I got it written down in my phone. I got it written down on a piece of paper. And I put it up to God. I pray to God that that He gives me the opportunity because I know I can hold my own. I already know that. I ain't got no doubt in my play, in my skill, in my heart. I got too much heart for all that to just let somebody like pump me or nothing like that. Like I know I'm gonna hold my own, regardless of where I'm at. So it's like I said, my course has always been different. If everything that I wanted happened when I wanted it to, it wouldn't be my story. It wouldn't be my process, and it wouldn't be my journey. I didn't get the SEC school coming out of high school. I had to work my way from mid-major. I had to get to that from mid-major. And then so I don't get there right away. That's never been me. I gotta work for it. So I love that I gotta do it a different way. I love that I gotta go a different route about this. And I'm embracing it.
And I think there's someone that you may know says looking forward to visiting over Christmas. Who is that?
That's my mom.
There you go.
That's my number one. That's my best friend. That's my other half. That's really, who I really do it for. She didn't gave up so much for me. She didn't give up so much time. She didn't put so many miles in the car. It's just like I could never repay her for everything that she did for me. And I just keep going. Like there's days I don't want to work out. There's days that, I might not want to get in the gym, but there's a little voice in the back of my head, and it's her voice. It's just keep pushing me. It is what it is. You tired? It is what it is. Go get in the gym. So that's really my number one in my heart. That's who's closest to me.
So was mom's a hooper back in the day or a big time athlete at all?
Oh, she was an athlete, but she wasn't a hooper. She played softball. My dad played football and wrestled. It wasn't really a lot of hoopers in my family. I'm really the only hooper. So it was different. It's funny. My parents are right-handed, and I write left-handed. And they thought I was right-handed. So everything I did, they made me do everything right-handed. But I'm a lefty. I'm a lefty. I'm really a lefty. So it came to kindergarten when my kindergarten coach came to me and was like, he's a left-handed. He writes left-handed, right? And they were like, huh? And I was like, after that, and that's why I feel like I'm so left-hand dominant with a lot of things when it comes to the game. Like I like dribbling my left hand more. I like, finishing with my left hand a lot. Sometimes like I have a little more finesse on my left hand. So it's just like, it's funny how things come about. But, there's only like one or two other hoopers that throughout my whole family. Like you go through the whole family, there's only like one or two hoopers outside of me.
That's what's up, man. And I want to go here because I brought it up during the intro, bringing you in about your father. So I definitely want to give him a shout out, Mr. Gerald McKissic. Mm-hmm. And the reason I want to bring him up, and I got a lot of love for him because back in 2013, around my birthday, which is in November, my previous vehicle, my truck, all of a sudden it said I had enough after 12 years. And I went to him. He is a car salesman. Right. And I'm not sure if he's still there now, but at the time he was over at the Chevy dealership off of off Manchester, out in Baldwin, Missouri. And he hooked me up with this.
Frank Lita?
Yeah, no. It's near Frank Lita, but it was Elko. That's it.
Elko Chevrolet. Oh yes.
Yeah. So he hooked me up with this 2014 Chevy Malibu LS, and I was like, man, this is dope. He hooked me up, man. He put me in the right position to get the vehicle. He was very professional from the first time I met him. Even to this day, if we ever cross paths, the whole nine. I even tried to go back like years later to see about a different car, and he was trying to help me out and everything. But this was the car that he helped me get at the time back in 2013. And so I still got the photo. So to your father, thank you very much. And it just was so surreal when he was telling me, about you. I'm like, wait a minute, McKissic, is that Gerald's son? And to find out that it is, and that's how I was able to really connect with you. So that's the full circle from 2013 to present day to be able to have you, on the show. So shouts out to both your parents, and for me, once again, to Gerald for helping me out during that time. Great man. I know he's definitely proud of you and everything that you're doing right now.
Yep. Yeah, now he's at Suntrust Buick GMC in St. Peter's.
Okay.
So, if anybody ever need anything, go out to St. Peter's and GMC, Suntrust GMC,
There it is. There it is. I love it, man. So Miss Williams did have a question. I know you just brought up earlier about now playing professionally and overseas, but she did ask, what are your aspirations post-graduation?
Outside, playing pro, just, taking care of me and moms, I gotta take care of business. Like I said, I got a bachelor's degree in communications. I got my master's certificate in sports management, so once this, the basketball stopped bouncing for me, I'm gonna take a year or two, figure out, what I'm gonna do in my life, and I thought about coaching, I thought about sports writing, I thought about sports analyzm, trying to do all that, and so it's really just, where my heart goes next, and sometimes my heart leads towards coaching, sometimes my heart leads towards sports writing, because I love the game that much, it's just like I don't want to lead the game just yet once the ball starts bouncing. So it all just depends on, where my heart is leaning towards the most when I get done.
So my wife just left this. She says, OMG, my mom worked with your dad at Suntrust.
That's a small world right there.
Man, crazy.
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
That's definitely crazy, man. So any special shout outs?
First I want to shout out my mom. Like I said, my heart. Then I want to shout out my dad. I want to shout out Coach Claggin, Coach Pee Wee. I also want to shout out my Florida mom for always supporting me in everything that I do. She don't miss a beat with me. My whole Florida family, Lourdes and Izzy, both of them. I want to shout. They show me so much love ever since day one, and everyone that just supports me and has always been there for me. I can the list can go on, but I ain't considering do too much. But if you've been with me and you've been rocking with me since day one, I always got your back. I'm always gonna be 10 toes behind you. That's my special shout out. I'm a big heart dude. I care about the ones that care about me. And I see that. I'm a big people person. I read a room. So if you rocking with me, I'm definitely 100% rocking with you.
Love it, man. And there's definitely been a privilege, to have you as a guest on the Sports Talk show, man, the platform. Thank you very much, man.
No, thank you so much for the opportunity, to tell my story, be a guy that, show you that it ain't always, the green grass, ain't always sugar and spice and everything nice, Sometimes you gotta get gritty. Sometimes you gotta get down in the dirt,
Gotta get it.
Gotta get to it, So I appreciate it a lot. I'm honored and I'm blessed.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. So do me a favor, just stay on. I'm gonna take you out just for a second, but just stay on. We'll do a quick little talk after the stream is over. So just stay right there. All right.
All right, for sure.
Leave them comments. Let me know what y'all think about our interview with the one and only Brandon McKissic. Great interview. Hope y'all have enjoyed it. Y'all already know it is your Wednesday night sports delight. Give us a follow, y'all. We've been doing this 5 years consecutively every Wednesday, y'all. Right here on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Subscribe, click on the bell. You can also follow us on Instagram at Platform Sports Talk. You can email us platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. After this show is over, it will be uploaded on Roku. So on any Roku device, put in the Platform Sports Talk Show. Give us that follow. Enjoy the show. Share it with the peoples. Also, from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, we on Hot 365 Radio, where, yes, it is always hot. Every first Wednesday of the month, we have Ladies Night. So shouts out to the ladies, the best panel of women who know sports. Check them out every first Wednesday of the month. And of course, we have every last Wednesday of the month, the Man Cave. Special announcement, because I will be going out the country with my wife, my SA Dub, celebrating her upcoming birthday in 2 more weeks. The very last Wednesday of the month will not be the Man Cave because it will be next week. So there'll be a special show, the Man Cave, next week, and it will be in person, just like the ladies were 2 weeks ago. So the fellas are looking forward to it. Gonna set the vibe. We're gonna have a great time. May have a nice surprise special guest. We shall definitely see. But once again, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight. Hope that you all have been enjoying the Platform Sports Talk Show. Once again, I am your boy Smooth. Shouts out to Bunny, who was on earlier. She had some issues with her internet, but it's all good. Shouts out to Joe. Thank you for everything. The T-Bone, you probably still in the air or hopefully landed already, going back to Florida. Safe travels, bro. See you back here next week. So Stan, shouts out to you once again to the Man Cave, to the Ladies Night, to everyone watching right now. Thank y'all so much for showing your boy some love. I have to get ready because I will have breaking news, some oral surgery done tomorrow morning. I'm going to be knocked out throughout the whole process of getting a few teeth. I got to go. Taking care of that. I'm going to have a whole new smile coming in a few weeks. So stay tuned. Stay smooth. Platform Sports Talk Show. And we out with y'all. Peace.